There we go. Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is the first leg of the playoff semi-final between Bournemouth and Brentford, where within the action-packed season, Brentford did win both of the games home and away between the two teams. Bournemouth did finish sixth, though, in the league, while Brentford was one place off the automatic places in third. The main man of the season, in the whole season, season of the Championship, has it been Ivan Toney of Brentford, breaking the record and scoring 31 Championship goals this season. That is the most anyone has ever scored in one season in this league. Will he have the big impact in today's game? And for the home team, they have the likes of Dominic Solanke and Dutch winger Dan Juma to provide the goals and chances to try and get Bournemouth rebounded straight back to the Premier League. It was heartbreak for Brentford last year as they were beaten in the playoff final in extra time by Fulham, but they will not want to repeat. So Bournemouth could receive the wrath of anger that Brentford have from last season's playoff final. So for the 113th fixture between the two teams, it is Woodgate versus Frank. It's the Cherries versus the Bees, and most importantly, it's the first step towards Premier League football for either of these teams. Like I said, they're showing it here now. The reversed fixtures were both wins for Brentford. If there was any buffering just in between that, I do apologise. I saw it just go on my OBS. But I think we're about okay. It might have just dropped out a little bit. But hello to everyone who's here. Make sure you like, subscribe. Kickoff is just 4 minutes away. We've got the teams here on either side if you want to have a look. And it's strong teams for both. Will we get a fantastic game? I think we will. Fans are back in. I think there's 2,000 in the Vitality Stadium today, which is also great. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff, so kickoff is going to be in about 3 minutes time exactly from when I've said it. And and as well, I just want to say as well, Brentford, they've had 9 chances in their history of being promoted from the playoffs, and they've never been promoted once. That's 9 attempts of playoff promotion chances, and they've not won a single one. So they'll want that to change. Obviously, like I said, last year they were beaten in extra time by Fulham at Wembley. Some mistakes from the goalkeeper David Raya, who has been linked to a move to Arsenal within the last week or so. If that'll happen, I'm not too sure. But like I said, it's going to be a good game. Brentford will want to get to the final again. They want to get promoted again. They are the favourites to be promoted. They finished third in the league, one behind the automatic places. Bournemouth did pick up the last playoff spot, and Jonathan Woodgate, the manager, has admitted that they are the underdogs in this tie, but that doesn't mean they can't win and come through and get promoted. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Just make sure it sounds okay. Okay, we're sounding all good. The players are walking out. If I have a look at the chat as well, we've got a 1-1 as well, and we've got a 2-1 to Brentford. We've got Tottenham Hotspur Live and Extreme Covey in the chat. And everyone who joins, make sure you like, subscribe. I think we've got a good game on our hands. I really do. Fans are back. I've heard it's 2,000. That's what they said on the show here, but I could be wrong. It does look like a lot of fans, but again, the Vitality Stadium only holds about 11,000 fans, so it could be more than 2,000. It looks like there's more than 2,000, but I could be wrong. But that doesn't really matter how many there is, because the main thing is there is fans back in stadiums. Like I said, it's Jonathan Woodgate, the caretaker manager, who took on the role in February of this year. He's managed Bournemouth 22 times and won 12 of the games, only picking up 2 draws, so he's not really too used to a draw, Jonathan Woodgate. And then the manager of Brentford is Thomas Frank, who, interestingly enough, was the assistant manager under Dean Smith while he was at Brentford from the 2016-18 season. Then Dean Smith moved on to Aston Villa, and then Thomas Frank took over permanently as manager, and he's going to be managing his 145th Brentford game. But if we just have a look at the lineups really quickly, you've got the likes of Asmir Begovic, formerly of Chelsea and Stoke, in the Bournemouth goal. Carter Vickers, who's on loan from Tottenham. He's alongside Steve Cook, who's been at the club since 2012. They've gone for Lloyd Kelly instead of Diego Rico. 2 older midfielders of Lerma and Pearson, and then the main 4 players is definitely Danjuma, Billing, Brooks and Solanke, and the bench you can see just below in the bottom left corner. And then for Brentford, they've gone for an unchanged lineup from their last win against Bristol City in the league. That was away, and it was a 3-1 win. Ivan Toney, Mbuemo, who's on the bench, and Sergi Canos scored. They are starting Sergi Canos and obviously Ivan Toney, the main man himself. Like I said, they've got David Raya in goal, linked to Arsenal, Pontus Jansson, formerly of Leeds. He's at the back with a back three of Christian Norgard, who's usually a midfielder, but he's played at the back for the latter stages of the season, and Ethan Pinnock are at the back. Maz Ruzlev plays at right wing back with Sergi Canos, who's more of an attacking winger, but he will have to patrol that left wing back role, which he's been doing pretty decently over the last couple months. And then the two midfielders of Vitali Janelt and Matthias Jensen dictate the midfield. And obviously, as you can see, the triangle up fronters of Marcus Forss, Ivan Toney and Tariq Fosu just playing in behind. So, two fantastic lineups, two of the best championship teams coming together in this playoff semi-final. Fans are back in. It's just great to see fans in. I don't think I've commentated on the game with fans back in yet, if I'm correct. I could be wrong when saying that, but it's been a long time anyway. They're back in the Vitality Stadium. It might only hold 11,000. There might not be even that many in today due to COVID restrictions, but they're back. They'll be rallying their team on, and obviously in the reverse fixture on Saturday, Brentford will also have fans, so it will both, it will balance itself out as well. So it's only home fans for today, and the referee blows the whistle. The referee takes the knee, and none of the other players do. Interestingly enough, referee blew the whistle, and only the referee took the knee. Both teams opted against it, and we've kicked off with Brentford. We're kicking left to right, Bournemouth right to left. We're underway. Championship playoff semi-final. Ivan Toney going for the long kick, won by Carter Vickers, cleared by Ben Pearson, goes all the way back towards Roslev, and it fell to Janssen to clear out for a Bournemouth throw-in. The experienced centre back on that right hand side is centre back playing with Mad Roslev. Who's not got the greatest of experience. He's playing his 20th game in all competitions this season. Maz Roslev, he's 21, who signed from Copenhagen back in 2019, and he's got in ahead of Henrik Dalsgaard, the usual right wing back or right back for Brentford, but he's been injured for the last 9. But he's back on the bench though for today's game, so that's positive. It's now Steve Cook back to Asmir Begovic in the Bournemouth goal. He's now on the edge of the 18-yard box of Carter Vickers. I have watched Bournemouth a couple of times this season, mainly against Southampton in the FA Cup, and they were very poor that game, as Ethan Pinnock gives away a free kick on the halfway line as he nudged Ben Pearson in the back, who was signed from Preston in the January transfer window. It's just great to see fans in the ground. I am supposedly back in a ground as well on Saturday. As you might hear, I'm not feeling too great, but hopefully if I recover, I'll be back in the ground, which is great to see. Back underway though with that free kick, and it's now back with the captain, Steve Cook. Going to go for a long ball over the top to the right hand side. Can it find David Brooks? What a ball! Oh, he nearly brought it down as well. Just caught under his feet there, David Brooks, and it's a throw-in for Brentford, and it's taken quickly to to Nordgaard. Clipped up towards Ivan Toney, headed won by Carter Vickers, but the referee thinks he's done it illegally, and it'll be a free kick for Brentford. Taken quickly over to the right hand side to Roslev, but the referee thinks Tariq Fosu took it too quickly, and he would demand it to be retaken once again. We're going to 0-0 here as well. I'm hoping it's not a 0-0. Hoping for a few goals. Jensen goes back to David Raya in the Brentford goal. Nordgaard switch to the right hand side again. Loops over towards Roslev. Heads it down the line to Ivan Toney, who chests it down and tries to backheel it towards the right wing back Roslev, but it just goes behind him, and he'll trickle out for a Bournemouth throw-in on their left hand side. And it'll be Lloyd Kelly to take for Bournemouth. Only the one goal in the Championship this season for the left back. Can also play centre back as well, as he throws it down the line. Header won by Janssen up towards Ivan Toney, who heads it towards his left, but no one's there, and Ben Pearson picks it up and plays it over to Adam Smith, the Bournemouth right back. He enters the Brentford half, takes a heavy touch, and it's been taken off him by Sergi Canos, but he thinks he's got the last touch there. Adam Smith, Sergi Canos thought the Bournemouth right back got the last touch as he tackled him, but according to the linesman, no. So Bournemouth with the throw-in. Sergi Canos, like I said, more of an attacking winger than a left wing back, but he's going to have to put a shift in today as the ball's been played down the line up towards Philip Billing, who will give chase, but he will go all the way back towards David Raya, who will let the ball roll out for a goal kick. I think that was a hopeful ball down the channel there by Bournemouth, looking for Philip Billing. Just too much on it, and it's easy for David Raya to let it go for a goal kick. He plays it forward into Janelt towards the left, where it's been peeled over by Fosu, and he'll look for a ball in behind. He looks for Ivan Toney, who brings it down in the box as he gives chase to his heavy touch, but it has Begovic to get there first, and the main man for Brentford this season, the replacement of Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney, nearly coming close to getting the first shot of the game away. But the touch was too heavy and Begovic could take it away. We're back in possession now with Bournemouth. It's with Carter Vickers. Like I said, on loan from Tottenham this year. He had a decent season with Bournemouth. Scored in a 2-1 win against Bristol. His only goal of the season for Bournemouth. Now with Jefferson Lerma, the Colombian. Over to his partner in that midfield, Ben Pearson, who enters the Brentford half and finds David Brooks, the Welshman, tries to get beyond Canos, and he does do nicely. Goes around the outside of him. Another heavy touch and a strong challenge from Pinnock as it gets cleared up towards Ivan Toney. Dispossessed fairly by Carter Vickers, says the referee. Bournemouth back in possession straight away as they look to put early pressure on the Bees here. It's Lerma out to the right-hand side to Ben Pearson, who was a Manchester United player from 2004 to 2016 before joining Preston, where he was there for around 5 years, played 165 times for Preston before finding the move to AFC Bournemouth. It's Lloyd Kelly on the ball, the left back, plays it forward towards Billing, cut out though in the end by Janelt. It's now Roslev, back to Pontus Jansson, the captain. Back into the 18-yard box we go for Brentford with David Raya, the goalkeeper, the Spaniard. Clears it up the field. Long it goes towards Marcus Forss. Can't win the header on Steve Cook. Headed forward to Lerma. Brings it down, but can't find the pass to David Brooks. Easily cut out in the end by Nordgaard. As now with Ethan Pinnock, the centre-back. Left-footed chip down the line. Adam Smith will get there first, but will be closed down by Sergio Canos and is pushed to the ground by the left wing-back of Brentford. And there'll be a free kick for Bournemouth. Well won by Adam Smith, the right-back who's yet to score this season. Signed from Spurs back in 2014. He was at the Spurs Academy and even spent a year on loan at Bournemouth in the 2010-11 season, then signed around 3 or 4 years later by Bournemouth, and he's played 282 times for Bournemouth, now 283. I forgot to do the timer. Oh, he's got that started, I do apologise. Ball long by Bournemouth from the free kick, straight to David Raya. Shows one long ball, can go straight back to the opposition keeper. That's how small the pitch is. We know the Vitality Stadium isn't the biggest of pitches. And it's Nordgaard, Christian Nordgaard for Brentford, who usually is a central midfielder, but he's been playing in the central centre-back role, while Brentford have diverted to a back three. So now David Raya clips it forward up towards Marcus Forss. Again, the header won by Carter Vickers, only as far as Tariq Fosu. To the left-hand side to Canos, tries to complete a 1-2 Fosu. Ben Pearson gets there first, cuts it out, and is pulled down by the Brentford attacker. And it'll be a free kick for Bournemouth again. Like I said, Jonathan Woodgate has admitted that his team are the underdogs in this tie, with Thomas Frank's team for Brentford being the more likeliest of teams to progress to the final and in the end progress to the Premier League. If either of these teams do go to the final, they'll play either Swansea or Barnsley. It's a big header won by Janssen, only as far as Lerma. Nods it down to his left towards Lloyd Kelly. Ivan Toney gets there first, takes it away from his toes, and holds it up and tries to play it down the line. Deflects up in the air off Lloyd Kelly and hooked away by Lerma up towards Solanke. Poor touch, and he gives it to Janelt. The Brentford midfielder on the right-hand side looks to cut inside, but tackled by Billing, and out for a throw, and it goes for Brentford on this right-hand side, where the likes of Roslev and Janssen will patrol that area. Bournemouth have lost their last 3 games, though, not scoring a single goal, 1-2-0 defeat and 2 1-0 defeats, while Brentford are coming into this off the back of 3 wins on the bounce. Nordgaard through the gap in behind for Roslev. He's got plays in the box, he gets it across, and it's deflected away by Carter Vickers, given chase by Fosu, who keeps it in. It's now Marcus Forss, back to Canos, who cuts in from the left onto his right from distance. He chips it in towards the back post, headed back in towards Roslev, towards Force. It's cut out by Bournemouth, and it will go towards the corner flag. Danjuma gets there, the corner flag, keeps it in, avoids the Brentford corner, and Billing comes away with it and is brought down in the end by Jensen. And it's a Bournemouth free kick, and they survived the first real meaningful attack of Brentford's. Jack Wilshere was supposed to win the Ballon d'Or. Now he can't even get into the starting 11 of the playoffs. I know, had such a bright future, Jack Wilshere. He is on the bench, though, number 11, but he's missed 214 games in his career. So, injuries have really took a hit to his career, Jack Wilshere. But he's on the bench for Bournemouth as Begovic clears. for Bournemouth. Flicked on by Billing up towards Danjuma, headed on by Roerslev. Up to Jensen, who's just peeled to the right hand side. He's got pressure from Billing, but he shakes him off, and a free kick to Brentford. Back to, I don't know why they've given a free kick, but they've taken it quickly anyway. It's now Christian Nordgaard, number 6 on the ball. 6'1". He comes forward and plays it into Marcus Forss. Loses it out to Carter Vickers, but his clearance isn't good enough, and Nordgaard will take this forward but pull down Steve Cook as he tries to get further forward. And it's another free kick for Bournemouth. A lot of free kicks for Bournemouth early on. But that Tariq Fosu, just before kept the ball in on Adam Smith, and then they put a ball in. He was just clipped there. Could have been a penalty as Arnaut Danjuma tries to take on Roerslev, gets him on his backside, tries to take him on once more. He's got support of Lloyd Kelly, plays it back to him, swings a ball in towards David Brooks. It falls to Ethan Pinnock, who heads it away in a volley by Jefferson Lerma. And wide it goes. A big chance for Bournemouth. It's a great strike from the Colombian. Really got good contact on it, but the accuracy wasn't there. The ball was put in. Brooks tried to win the first header, then it fell to Pinnock, who headed it further away to the edge of the box to Lerma, who got there ahead of Marcus Forss, who tried to put pressure on the striker. But the striker putting the pressure on the holding midfielder couldn't stop him from letting off a strike like that. But unfortunately it wasn't his. We just hit the 10th minute and it's still 0-0. It's up towards Ivan Toney, nods it down to Tariq Fosu, and he takes it away from Ben Pearson. He looks to try and play a pass backwards, deflects off David Brooks, and it'll be a Brentford throw-in inside the Bournemouth half. David Brooks, the Welshman, back in the team. He's spent a little bit of time injured this season. He's had a bit of a hit and miss season, but he has still, showed his class with 5 goals this season in the Championship. Back to David Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper. 16 clean sheets for the season in the Championship for the goalkeeper as he tries to aim for Roerslev, but it's just over the right wing back on the halfway line, and it'll be a Bournemouth throw-in as they need to stop giving cheap possession away like that, Brentford, if they want to try and get in the lead in this game. Brentford are unbeaten in their last 12 games, winning 6, drawing 6, while Bournemouth have only won one of their last 4 league home games. Those losses came against those home games have been against Brentford, Wycombe and Stoke. So Brentford have come here and won in the past, and that was a 1-0 away win. And Buemo, who's on the bench, won that game for Brentford as Bournemouth are back in possession. David Brooks slips it through the gap to Adam Smith, who pulls it back towards Billing as he shoots, and it's just scuffed it, and it spins wide and out for a goal kick. Good play from Bournemouth. David Brooks finding that gap in between the lines, found Adam Smith, who was charging in the box, pulled it back towards Billing, who just mistimed his shot and scuffed it well wide of the post. And another let-off for Brentford as both teams are just starting to settle into the game ever so slightly. So we have had a great start to this semi-final of the Championship playoffs. David Raya, who's it up the field up towards Ivan Toney, goes past both him and Carter Vickers and will fall in the right back position to Adam Smith, who looks to clear down the line, blocked by Sergi Canos, and deflects away for a throw-in for Bournemouth as Philip Billing will look at that and think he probably should have done a little bit better. Billing, the midfielder who does usually playing behind the striker, who scored 8 times this season from that position, not a bad record. Adam Smith throws it into Brooks, brings it down, but he's picked out of possession by Sergi Canos, who looks to put it back into the box. It deflects over towards Lloyd Kelly, the left back, who can take it away from Ivan Toney. Play down the line to Danjuma, looks to turn Roerslev, but he's not allowed to. He's tackled, and it'll be a throw-in for Bournemouth. It's Lloyd Kelly with the throw-in. I've got many options, so I'm presuming he'll just throw it down the line towards maybe Danjuma, and he will get it towards him. It comes off Solanke, actually, into Billing, who gets it back to Solanke. Still holding midfielder Jefferson Lerma to Lloyd Kelly. Down the line it goes to Billing, who holds it up against Roerslev in the Bournemouth half, and he takes the pressure away from Bournemouth as he plays it back onto the edge of the 18-yard box to Carter Vickers. It's now out to Adam Smith. Takes a touch and drills it in towards Solanke, just the wrong side of Solanke as he turned the opposite way, and it'll fall to Pontus Jansson for Brentford as they're back in possession with David Raya, their goalkeeper. Nordgaard, back to David Raya again, over to Nordgaard, who will bring it forward. He's got Ethan Pinnock to his left. I don't think he'll use the left-sided centre-back. He'll go for another switch over towards Roerslev, and he'll get it towards him. Now back inside to Vitali Janelt. Nordgaard over to Ethan Pinnock. Still currently in the Brentford half. It's now over to Pontus Jansson. Closed down by Danjuma, just about shifts it away from him to the goalkeeper Raya. He then clips it forward high in the sky. Ivan Toney looks to win the header, but Steve Cook gets there ahead of him. But a offside's been given on Ivan Toney as the ball was played up towards him. As the man in the middle, the referee is Tim Robinson today, with assistant referees of Ian Cooper and Wade Smith. Lloyd Kelly at the back is now over to Steve Cook. Carter Vickers clips it over the top, but no Bournemouth players there to give chase. It'll fall right back to the Brentford keeper, who's all in a nice turquoise blue strip. He collects the ball and rolls it out to Christian Nordgaard. Pinnock back to Nordgaard. A lot of possession for the three centre-halves of Brentford, as Bournemouth just allows the three centre-backs to have possession and then try and pounce on the balls out wide, which he has found here with Sergi Canos. Nice ball brought down. He's going to look for a switch over towards Ruzlev, and he finds him. Takes a touch. Down the line it goes to Jensen. He's got Ruzlev in support, and he'll go back to the right wing back. Inside to Jarnelt. He's got a switch over to the left, and he'll look for it, and he'll find him with Tariq Fosu. One-on-one with Adam Smith. Gets onto the right foot. Swings a ball in. Cleared by Ben Pearson. Comes off Lerman. Back towards Ivan Toney. He looks to try and head it onwards, but he's been penalised here as he was too aggressive on the header with Steve Cook as he brought down the Bournemouth captain. And it will be a free kick for Bournemouth again. Swung in, poor cross in the end, but Ben Pearson just cleared it with the left foot and it bounced off Lerman, not really knowing much about it. Back in towards the danger where Ivan Toney looked to try and win the header, but he did it just a little bit too aggressively. But that chance there just before, it was quite about 10 minutes ago now when Tariq Fosu kept the ball in, and then they got a ball in the box. There was a call for a penalty kick because Adam Smith kicked the back of Tariq Fosu's foot, not winning the ball. So realistically, if VAR's in, that's a penalty probably. But the referee didn't see it, and Pontus Jansson has a throw-in for Brentford as they're back in possession already. I just missed how they got possession. They were just showing that replay, the foul there, which wasn't given in the end, which is just a little bit of a let-off for Bournemouth as a throw-in's gone in towards Marcus Forss, but it's won by a Bournemouth player, headed back towards their attack, but it's now fell to Ethan Pinnock. To Canos, lifted into Nordgaard, and then volleyed forward by Jarnelt. Towards Tariq Fosu on the left-hand side. Can't quite keep it in pitch. It'll be a throw-in for Bournemouth in the right-back area with Adam Smith. Who's also had injury issues of his own in the past, mainly within his time in the Premier League. He suffered a few injuries in that right-back area. They've got backup though. Jack Stacey was brought in at the start of last season where they were relegated, signed from Luton. He made 19 Premier League appearances. Jack Stacey, his Begovic clears. Helped on by Lerma up to Billing, who holds it up and distributes it to the right hand side to David Brooks. He's now back on the halfway line with Lerma. Over to Lloyd Kelly's Bournemouth look to try and get the first goal of this playoff semi-finals. Now Danjuma against Ruzlev goes on the inside, then plays it forward to Billing, who has to try and hold it up and flicks it into the run of Danjuma. Deflects back to Billing though, as it was just cut out, and Lloyd Kelly puts a ball in and it's headed on by Solanke. And does that hit the post or is it a save? It's cleared away in the end, I think, for a corner to Solanke's. Disappointment. I think it's been given as a goal kick. Let's have a look here. Lloyd Kelly swings a great ball in, headed on by Solanke onto the post. And out it went in the end for a goal kick as it just spun out for a goal kick in the end as it hit the post. But Solanke getting there ahead of his man and winning the header and diverting it towards goal, but hitting the post in the end. Great ball though from Lloyd Kelly. Bournemouth have had 4 attempts so far on goal compared to Brentford's none. Well, no shots yet on target if you count the posters off target. It's now with Ruzlev, the Brentford right wing back. Inside we go to Jarnelt. Lifted ball over the top towards Ivan Toney. Will he get there? No, he won't, because Carter Vickers just about wins the header on Ivan Toney and gets it back to his goalkeeper, Asmir Begovic, who distributes quickly out to Lloyd Kelly, the left back, who will be asked to put more balls in like that by the manager of Bournemouth and the fans as well. It's a great left-footed ball into Solanke as the ball's been played to Solanke here by Adam Smith. Pushed off the ball too easily by the Brentford defender, and the referee sees nothing wrong with it. And Solanke, who tried to hold it up, he just kicked it out of play in the end, and it'll be a Brentford throw-in as it's back to Nordgaard, the central centre-back for Brentford, the number 6. He can play nearly everywhere, Nordgaard, as he's chipped up towards Ivan Toney, wins the flick on towards Force. Cleared in the end by Steve Cook, over to David Brooks, who keeps it on the right. He's going to be chased down by Fosu, but he's got the pace on the central attacking midfielder. He's going to keep running. David Brooks tries to go inside, cut off by Jarnelt, but the touch will fall to Solanke on the right, who puts a cross in of his own, and headed away by Roerslev and helped away by Ethan Pinnock up towards Fosu, who's just been caught there from behind by Adam Smith, and it'll be a free kick for Brentford this time inside their own half. Just went right through the back there of Tariq Fosu in the end, Adam Smith, and it's a rightly given free kick as Bournemouth are just finding a little bit of success in these wide areas, getting some crosses in, as this isn't a great sign for Bournemouth. Their captain Steve Cook's gone down, just holding his left I think calf. He's holding there. It would be a right to worry if you're a Bournemouth fan, because it doesn't look too positive. He's back on his feet though, so I'm presuming he'll be okay. He definitely took a bit of a knock there. I'm not sure if it was a muscle or he's just had a knock. They're not showing a replay yet, but they have got the likes of Chris Mepham on the bench to come on as a centre-back if he needs to be replaced, as David Raya clears it forward up towards Ivan Toney, who doesn't win the header. It's Carter Vickers who does, and it falls to Lerma, who just lifts it forward. Can't find a player in a red and black shirt, and it falls to Jarnelt in the end for Brentford. Played forward to Ivan Toney. Out over towards Jensen, cut out by Billing, but falls back to Toney. Then finds Jensen in the second try, but he's been tackled by Billing. Nice tackle by the Danish midfielder. It's now Arnaut Danjuma. Back to Steve Cook on the 18-yard box, who seems to be moving a little bit more freely as he curls one out to the right-hand side and finds David Brooks. What a ball. He's now one-on-one with Ethan Pinnock, goes on the inside, but then tackled by Sergi Canos, and it's been played back towards the goalkeeper, who gets there ahead of Solanke and collects and rolls out to Jarnelt. It's not a back pass because it was a tackle by Sergi Canos that went all the way back to his keeper, so not an intentional pass back to David Raya, as they're now going on the attack again with Jensen. Another lifted ball over. Carter Vickers again wins the header to Cook, who brings it down, plays it over to Lloyd Kelly. Bournemouth back in possession. Such a small pitch, those lifted balls aren't really working so far for Brentford. It's now with Billing inside to Lerma. Forward to Solanke, poor touch, easily won by the Brentford defender. It's now Jensen to Fosu. Wide left they go with Sergi Canos. Was of Liverpool, Sergi Canos, the Spaniard. Was at Barcelona from 2010 to 2013, then spent some time at Liverpool from 2013 to 2016, and then had a loan spell at Brentford in the 15-16 season where he scored 7 goals, and then was signed permanently in 2017 as he spent that loan spell at Bournemouth in 15-16, then went to Norwich for a couple of years after impressing, then ended up moving to Brentford anyway. Not Bournemouth, Brentford. So Sergi Canos has been at quite a few big clubs as he tries to give chase to that ball over the top by a Brentford player, but he can't get there. Goal kick for Bournemouth. So Sergi Canos played for a decent amount of clubs. He's played 52 times this season, Sergi Canos. 53rd appearance. This shows how hectic a championship season can be. He's featured in every single championship game this season with 33 starts. So even if he's not started, he's definitely come off the bench. There'll be a Bournemouth goal kick, which Asmir Begovic can take. Up towards Billing. Heads in on towards Solanke. Comes off his face, I think, and into the path of Danjuma on the left. He's on the edge of the 18-yard box, tries to go on the outside of the defenders and gets a crossing on the byline. It's been cut out by Janssen. And out for a throw, and it goes right towards the corner flag. Good positive running, though, by the Dutchman as Janssen has stayed down as he cleared, and Billings also stayed down as well. There must have been a collision as he cut out the cross there by Arnaut Danjuma, who's been the real spark in this season for Bournemouth. He's got 15 championship goals, 9 of them coming in the last 14 games. He got beyond Roerslev there, and I think Nordgaard got a cross in. Janssen cleared it, and then, just as Philip Billing was falling to the ground as he was chasing it, he's just clipped the back of the head of Janssen as his foot was just trailing in the air. Just an absolute accident, nothing more than that, as we're back underway. Danjuma receiving it back from the throw-in on the right foot. He's going to go for the cross, but then faked it and then just has to take on the Brentford players. Can't take on Roerslev, who tackles him and clears out only as far as a throw-in for Bournemouth, still in towards that corner flag. As Bournemouth do look like the team most likely to score in the first opening 23.5 minutes of the game. So Lloyd Kelly has it now with a throw-in. So it's back to Steve Cook, who's got quite far forward, plays it forward to Billing, who takes it on the chest and stood up by Roerslev, but gets beyond the wing back and then clears it low off a Brentford player as he looks to bring it away. Now Jensen, stopped by the brick wall of the Colombian Jefferson Lerma, but his touch is too poor and Ivan Toney can slip it through to Marcus Force. It's a great challenge by Steve Cook to stop the number 15 getting in behind. It's back to Begovic and he clears forward. Nearly a counter-attack there for Brentford as they struggling to deal with this ball. We have Pinnock trying to head it away. Yarnelt volleys it up into the sky where Sergi Canos will look to bring it down. He's battling with Adam Smith, but it's Ivan Toney who ends up trying to take it away, but he's been tackled. It's been cleared up the pitch looking towards Danjuma, collected in the end by the goalkeeper David Raya, and he rolls out quickly to Roerslev. Bit hectic there the last 30 seconds as Brentford nearly got in behind there after Bournemouth gave away the ball, but unfortunately his Lerma tackle, but it just fell to a Brentford player. It's now Ethan Pinnock back to, I think that's Yarnelt at the back. He's just taken over the position of Nordgaard for now in that central centre-back role and does find Nordgaard, who's usually a midfielder and can play there, even though he's slotting in the central centre-back for now. As it's Nordgaard back-heeled it back to Sergi Canos. He likes to cut in from the left onto his right, plays a ball in towards the box. Steve Cook cooks it out on the edge, and his clearance has gone over to Pontus Jansson, the Swedish centre-half. It's now Yarnelt back to David Raya, who was signed 2 seasons ago from Blackburn. Came to England in 2012 from Canella to Blackburn, spent 7 years there, and then joined Brentford where he's looked to get them promoted, but not to be so far as his clearance goes up towards Ivan Toney, brings it down on Steve Cook, and he's allowed to give him time and space to look for a pass, goes inside to Sergi Canos, who looks for the strike, and as he does it deflect off Steve Cook? Yes, it does, I'm pretty sure. And a corner kick it is. Steve Cook, I don't think has too many complaints there, as Ivan Toney won the ball against him, and then he laid it off to Sergi Canos, and as he drifted from the left into a more central position, he shot there, and it's gone wide, but has that deflected off Steve Cook? That was a bit of a close one. They're showing that chance again where Ivan Toney sent it through towards Marcus Force, and he's trying to get on the end of it. It's a great challenge from Steve Cook, who had to get it right to take it away from the striker. But it'll be interesting if Brentford score from this, because that's quite debatable if it came off Steve Cook, that shot. It may have just took a little nick off the defender. The Sergi Canos shot was always going wide anyway. As it's going to be Matthias Jensen to put this corner in. It's glided in. It's put in towards the back post where it's brought down by Pinnock, who helps it in and then cleared away by Bournemouth. Not very convincingly though. Tariq Foss, who picks it up on the right hand side for Brentford. He works a bit of room. Going to get a cross in. Tries to get onto his favoured right foot. Then goes on the left instead. Then puts a cross in. Stopped by Billing. And falls back to Fosu, who goes inside. 1-2 with Pinnock. Nice play. Fosu plays it back into Nordgaard. And it's Fosu again. Tries to take on Solanke. Not allowed to. Plays it back in the end to Pinnock, the centre-back, who will put a left-footed cross in. It's a great cross in. It's headed back, I think, by a Bournemouth player into the hands of Asmir Begovic. He looks to get the attack started quickly. Throws it out wide to David Brooks. Inside to Lerma. It's now over into the Brentford half to Billing, who's on the left. Got the ball caught in between his feet. And it's going to be an easy challenge in the end for Ethan Pinnock. As that's an easy win of possession back for Brentford. As Bournemouth stood a little bit better with that, really. It's Nordgaard, who's gone back into his central centre-back role. Shifts easily past a few Bournemouth players and plays it forward into Marcus Force. It's now Jensen. Out wide left. Sergi Canos. All in the Bournemouth half at the minute as Brentford are looking to get a bit of possession and create a few chances of their own. They have kept 6 clean sheets as well, Brentford, in their last 8 games, winning 5 of those and drawing 3. As they've played it out of play there by Jensen, who was looking for Roerslev on the right-hand side, but his ball was a little too high for the right wing back, and it'll be a Bournemouth throw. So like I said, it will be hard for Bournemouth to break down this Brentford defence. They are very defensively intact as David Brooks goes down for Bournemouth. Not a great sight to see. We know he struggled with injury this season. He's missed around 13 games injured for Bournemouth this season in the league. Someone they don't want to be injured. Lionel says hi. Hi, everyone's alright who's in this stream. If you can like, subscribe, that'd be fantastic. For the first leg of this Championship semi-final of Bournemouth versus Brentford. Yeah, Brooks is down. It looks like his right foot is the problem. He's going to be held back up by the physio. Is he going to have to come off? He's walking off. He doesn't seem like he's in too much discomfort. David Brooks. It could be more of an inside issue that we're just not too sure of. But it looks like he's walking off the field. And he will be returning. So it may have just been a little bit of a niggle loose feeling. He just needed a bit of sorting out by the physio. But it looks like David Brooks will be returning back onto the pitch, number 7, the Welshman, who did score 8 in 39 Premier League appearances while he played in the division. So if they are re-promoted, he knows what to do in the Premier League. He's a highly rated player. As Janssen wins the header from Lloyd Kelly as we're back underway. Jensen, poor clearance backwards, and it's come to Dom Solanke, who holds it up against Ethan Pinnock, and it's now Ben Pearson out to Brooks, who's met strongly there by Sergi Canos. He wins the ball cleanly, the Spaniard, and leaves one on David Brooks, who's straight back to his feet. He was a little bit angry because obviously we've just seen him come off for a second with an injury, but that's a great challenge from Sergi Canos. And the throw's been taken down the line to Billing, who holds it up, looking for Adam Smith, deflects off Sergi Canos. There'll be another throw for Bournemouth. That's what we like to see, a bit of that aggression and that want from both teams. Adam Smith to take the throw. To Billing, lays it back into Adam Smith. Shifts onto his right foot, looks for a cross. Deflects back to him. Second time's not a charm because it's deflected all the way back in the end to Ben Pearson, who's now to Carter Vickers. To Ben Pearson again. He's far right. He's going to look inside for Lerma, and he picks it up, the Colombian, and switches it over to the left-hand side. He finds Danjuma, who nods it forward towards Lloyd Kelly, who's found himself in the box to the left back, tries to put a cross, deflects backwards in the end to Danjuma as Janssen does his defensive duties. Night back heel into Lloyd Kelly. As he's been flagged offside, the back heel from Danjuma found Lloyd Kelly, but he was just coming back from an offside position as he was the one who'd put that attempted cross in, which was blocked in the end by Brentford. I'm enjoying this game. I love Championship playoff game. I don't personally support a Championship team, so I don't know the feeling of going through playoffs in this level. But I do love the Championship playoff games. I think they're fantastic. Shows how much it really means to these teams. Who've got to play around 50 games a season, sometimes just the 46. In the league, as Jensen's been set away here on the right-hand side. It's Steve Cook. He's in the final third. He gets a quick ball across, headed away by Carter Vickers. As far as Ivan Toney, about 22 yards out. Decides to go back out wide right to Jensen. Now Roerslev with the overlap, decides to cross it himself. Jensen, and the header's won by force, goes over towards the back post, where it's held back in by Sergi Canos up towards Toney, who brings it down, can't get a shot away. Cleared as far as the edge of the box to Fosu, who gets the left foot crossing, blocked off by Ben Pearson, and he's caught late by Fosu as he looked to try and clear, and a free kick in the right back area for Bournemouth. Another chance gone begging for Brentford. Here we go, Fosu on the edge of the box there, to get a cross in, blocks off the first time, then to give chase to the ball where Ben Pearson got there first, and then ended up giving a free kick away. And like I said, if you can hear my voice being feeling a bit ill, it's because I am. My voice doesn't usually sound this annoying, but I can't help it, unfortunately. Am I sneezing? Am I about to sneeze? Hold on. No, I don't think I am. I think he's gone. He's gone. That's annoying. We're about to get back underway with the Bournemouth free kick. Thanks to everyone who has joined. Make sure you like and subscribe. Not many commentaries left of this club season. We've got the playoffs and maybe the Europa League final left commentaries. And that's it. We might do a few Euros one and then back again to do it all again. We'll be commentating on one of these teams maybe in the Premier League next year. As Ben Pearson headed on from the free kick, as there's a little bit of battling going on in the midfield. It's now David Brooks, plays it through to Adam Smith, who's got space on the right-hand side, works a lifted cross in towards the back post, it floats up towards Danjuma, header won by Roerslev, it back over towards the far side where Danjuma will retreat the ball and will get it and will look to take on the right wing back. Can't quite do so as of yet, but plays a ball through to Philip Billing, and then back heel towards Danjuma, too much on it, picked up by Fosu in the 18-yard box. It's now with Jensen. Out to Roerslev, who will send it down the right-hand side as Brentford can push out a little bit. Header won, though, by Steve Cook on Marcus Force. It's now a Lerma on the left. Played forward into Billing. It's laid back into Lloyd Kelly, who's had a great start to the game. Lloyd Kelly in that left-back role, in ahead of Diego Rico. Now Danjuma forward towards Brooks, who gets a touch there, but he had to stretch for it. And it fell to Janssen in the end, who plays back to his goalkeeper, who can't really clear it too well as Lloyd Kelly wins the header, but nudges Jensen in the back to try and win it and gives away a free kick once again. Like I said, Lloyd Kelly got to a great start, but just give away a free kick there on Jensen as he just went into his back to try and win the header. He's also missed 9 games as well this year, Lloyd Kelly. back into this one, and he's ready to put in a good shift to try and keep his spot ahead of Diego Rico. Steve Cook's just getting a talking to by the referee, Tim Robinson. I'm not sure what he's talking about. The captain of Bournemouth and the referee, I'm not too sure what they're talking about. Ends in a nice little smile by the referee, and Steve Cook just tells his players to keep their heads, so it just might be one of those ones of try to just calm the players down. But to be fair, I think Brentford have probably committed the most fouls, especially in that first 10 minutes or so. So back underway, Ethan Pinnock lifts it up towards Sergi Canos. Can't get there ahead of Ben Pearson. Good midfield work by the former Preston man. It's now with Adam Smith, who's been forced back as he's caught late by Sergi Canos. And another free kick on that right for Bournemouth as Sergi Canos is frustrated with the decision, but it is the most blatant free kick I think I've seen. Caught Adam Smith late there as Steve Cook again is being spoken to by the referee, or it might be the other way around. The referees get spoken to by Steve Cook, because that's another late challenge by Sergi Canos. Not the first Brentford player to commit a late challenge. Takes him right to the ground. Would have been a bit of a painful one there for Adam Smith and Bournemouth. But I think as well, just a bit of an indication as well for Brentford in terms of the importance of Ivan Toney, who's been linked to Premier League clubs like Leicester City. He scored 31 Championship goals, Ivan Toney, this year. You know, the most I think anyone's ever scored in the Championship season, more than Ollie Watkins. If you add Solanke and Danjuma's tallies for this season, so Bournemouth's top goal scorers in the league, their goals combined are 30. So if you combine the top goal scorers for Bournemouth, it is one less than Ivan Toney scored all season. That just shows how good he's been this year. Ivan Toney is. He looks to receive the ball here from the back heel from Force as Pinnock cleared for Brentford, but he couldn't get it towards the main man, Marcus Force. Towards Ivan Toney, it's now towards Danjuma, tries to flick on Roerslev, doesn't allow him to get past. That's now Jensen who tries to play it forward, cut out by Lord Kelly. And a throw-in for Brentford in the end, as Ivan Toney hasn't really had a chance yet to get a shot on goal and maybe get Brentford in their lead, as about 9.5 minutes away from the 45th minute. Ethan Pinnock, down the left to Sergi Canos, right-footed ball looking forward, comes off Adam Smith last, and it'll be a Brentford throw-in in the end. Sergi Canos will take. He has started both of the games against Bournemouth this season, Sergi Canos, but didn't complete 90 minutes in either of them. He completed 65 minutes in one and 54 minutes in the other. And a throw in for Brentford in the end. It'll be Ethan Pinnock to take. The number 5 for Brentford. He goes in towards Ivan Toney on the halfway line. He's bundled to the ground by Jefferson Lerma, and to the frustration of Jefferson Lerma, it's a free kick for Brentford as they look to take it quickly, and they have done so to Jensen. It's now over to the right flank to Roerslev. 1-on-1 with Lord Kelly. Will he try and take him on the number 30? He's in the box now. Tries to get beyond him, tries to go on the inside. Well worked by Jefferson Lerma, and Lord Kelly sniffs out the danger, but not as far as Janssen, who picks it up against Danjuma. They've worked it to the edge to Fosu. Can he work a shot? Plays it back into Sergi Canos. He shoots. It's deflected off Lerma, and it loops over the bar for a corner. Sergi Canos wanting a goal against Bournemouth. Like I said, he's started both of the games against Bournemouth this year. Didn't get on the score sheet in either of the two games. Fosu, Buemo and Dalsgaard are the people to score against Bournemouth this year. Will we get a different goal scorer today, as they've got a corner they can attack, and they've got some height in the box. 6'4" with Janssen, 6'1" with Ethan Pinnock as well. Will they find the right ball? So ball in the box by Jensen. It's gone towards Toney. It comes off him and it falls in the end as the ball's been clipped in towards Pinnock at the back post. Cleared to Fosu, and he slipped here, and the counter-attack's on for Bournemouth. Solanke charges. It's a 2v1 at the minute. It's a 2v1. Solanke over, and it's just behind. Danjuma and Brentford survived the counter. Fosu slipped on the edge of the box. Solanke broke away. Looks for Danjuma, played it behind him. And in the end, Brentford got players back to defend it. What a chance. Roerslev brings it forward now for Brentford as they look to change from defence to attack, but they've just gone back in the end to Janssen as they've just calmed the game down, slowed it down a little bit there, Brentford, as they nearly went 1-0 behind. And the ball's put in towards the box there, I think, to Toney, and it deflected off Toney's chest into Nordgaard in the end, who then clipped it towards Pinnock at the back post, and then it was cleared, and then the slip, and then the counter-attack, which was unsuccessful as Lerma picks up the header from the left-hand side by Sergi Canos inside. Could be picked up by Marcus Force, and now Bournemouth look to get away on the left-hand side. It's a ball down the channel, a lot of pressure on that ball, and easily seen behind there by David Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper. But there's Fosu slipping. Solanke was away. It was a 2v1 in the first place, as Brentford players were all behind Solanke, and as he tried to play it across to Danjuma, goes behind him in the end, and to the frustration of the Bournemouth supporters, Solanke couldn't make the most of the opportunity. Yeah, let's have a look. Came off Tony. I was looking for a foul there, but I don't think there was one on Ivan Toney by Carter Vickers. Caught from behind, but I won't say it's a penalty. You know, both players just go for the ball. But I want to see a bit more from Ivan Toney. I've heard all these things. I've not really seen much of him in this first half. Header won by Steve Cook or Marcus Force, so as far as Röslev. Has it forward into the Bournemouth half with Jensen. Back into Janssen. Volleyed forward, miscued, and out for a throw-in on the left-back area for Bournemouth, with Lloyd Kelly to take for Bournemouth. Before winning last 3 games, before losing their last 3 games, Bournemouth, they had won the previous 7, 3 at home and 4 of them away. Obviously, they have lost their last 3 games of the season, Bournemouth, before the playoffs. Throw-in by Lloyd Kelly over to Ben Pearson. Yeah, won their last 3. Lost their last 3, and then went on a 7, and then were on a winning streak of 7. So that finished quite abruptly, you could say. And I think it's a corner here for Bournemouth. They'd worked it on the right hand side, and Vitaly Janelt has had to just defend well, and a corner kick's been won in the end for Bournemouth. But you know, it's quite incentive that, you know. By the way, that 7 wins in a row before losing 3 in a row at the end of the season, that excludes the FA Cup loss against Southampton. So great league form, and then just a drop off after guaranteeing playoff place. It's quite worrying, really, losing 3 on the bounce without winning. But they could have that change now, as they've got a corner. It's glided in again, lifted up towards Steve Cook, who wins the header. Good save by Raya. Falls to Brooks. It's another clearance, I think, by Ivan Toney, and just lifted into the air by Fosu. Caught Lerma late, no, says the referee. Cleared again by Brentford. And out for a throw-in for Bournemouth. First real big chance. Glided in up towards Steve Cook, who won the header. It was powerful. It was won by Raya and then cleared beautifully by Ivan Toney as he blocked the shot and got a clearance from it. Good save by Raya. Rebound by Brooks. And a great defensive instinct there from the striker Ivan Toney as Fosu looks to bring it away. To Force, he's been caught late from behind by Carter Vickers. Free kick for Brentford on the left-hand side, just inside their own half. What a great game this has been. Seriously, it's been fantastic. I think Marcus Force has definitely felt the impact of that challenge there from Carter Vickers from behind. But they have not lost a game for a while. Their unbeaten streak, Brentford, has been from the 12th of March to the 8th of May. Obviously now the 17th of May if they do not lose this game. So it was quite a good run, isn't it? You've been unbeaten from March. As Solanke's got it for Bournemouth. Now Lerma. Over to Lloyd Kelly in the Brentford half as he looks to get forward. David Brooks has gone from the right to the left. Replays it back into the left back. Kelly, who gets a first time crossing, cut out by Janssen into Jensen. He then plays it forward to Ivan Toney, but picked up by Steve Cook on the edge of the box. Plays it over to Danjuma in the box on the right. Chops past one, but then tackled by another Sergi Canos. Played forward by Pinnock. Dispossessed though, Fosu by Ben Pearson. Goes the long way round on the outside, on the right hand side. Back into Adam Smith, then Pearson again. Through to Smith in the corner flag. Met by Sergi Canos, but can get beyond him for now. Then play it inside to Billing in the box. Caught late, Adam Smith. Play goes on and a pull back into the box, which can be cleared by Brentford. Looks for Carter Vickers. Bournemouth come forward again. Pearson, Lerma, back out wide right where Smith will give chase, but it'll be Fosu to get there first and tackled by Smith and not seen out by Fosu successfully because it's been a Bournemouth throw-in 1-2 with Billing. Tried to take it quickly, but runs out of pitch in the end of the goal kick for Brentford. But I think an offside was given anyway on Adam Smith as he completed the 1-2 with Billing. What a bit of a action-packed game this has been so far. Because like I said, the pitch is so small for Bournemouth. You know, it's very end to end. You know, 1 minute you're in your 18-yard box, and 5 seconds later you can be attacking in the opposition's final third. In your final third, it can just be quite end to end stuff, and that's what we like to see. That free kick for Brentford from the offside will be taken, I think, by David Raya, the goalkeeper. There's Adam Smith now has gone down. I think we've had 3 different players down for Bournemouth. We've had Steve Cook down at one point, the centre-back. We've had David Brooks down, the right winger. Now we've got the right-back down, Adam Smith. I'm not sure what's wrong with him, to be honest. He's been helped back onto his feet by Philip Billing, so it looks like Adam Smith will be okay to continue. But Jack Stacey is just, he's just getting ready, just in case he's needed. He's been told some tactical instructions, so it might be the fact Adam Smith can't continue here. It's supposed to be cleared by David Raya. Can't be helped on by Force. Headed forward, all as far as Ethan Pinnock, who nodded down to Sergi Canos. Lifted into Force. Again, can't touch it to a Brentford player, but that is poor by Adam Smith. The clearance towards Lerman. It's picked up by Jensen. His pass has been intercepted by Cook. Forward to Brooks, who can't get beyond Yarnelt in the Brentford midfield. And it's now with Brentford. As I think they've just stopped the play there is Cook, who intercepted the first ball by Brentford. Has stayed down. It looks like he was caught late though, and he like I said, he stayed down, and he looks like he's in some discomfort here. Steve Cook. Hopefully we get a replay. He looks in real pain here. Steve Cook. If we're going to get a replay, I'll show you exactly what happened and how it unfolded. So Jensen played a ball forward in towards Force. Oh, what's happened there? So he gets there ahead of Force. So Jensen forward towards Force. Steve Cook gets there first, and no one was near him. He may have just twisted his ankle or maybe his knee. I'm not sure. There was no one around. Like, obviously Force was near him, but didn't put any pressure on him. It was just Cook on his own. And as he's kicked the ball, you think he needs to be substituted here. The physio is indicating the substitute sign. You know that one where you get him off. And it looks like Mepham will be needed instead of Jack Stacey. I think Adam Smith will be okay to continue. With Mepham coming on. He's putting on his shirt. That is a real blow for Bournemouth. Steve Cook, no one around him. He's gone to kick the ball. Begovic is getting the captain's armband. And Steve Cook, with no one around him, he's gone to pass it. And I think he's just twisted his ankle or something as he passed the ball. Very strange. It's an injury out of nowhere. It's a strange injury to say the least. And Steve Cook, who's such an influential player in this Bournemouth team, is having to come off. He's not been tackled or anything. He's gone to pass the ball, and it looks like he may have twisted an ankle or something. I'm not sure what's happened. It's a strange one, but he's being forced off. Steve Cook to be replaced by the Welshman Chris Mepham, who is formerly of Brentford. He joined Brentford from Chelsea in 2012 as a youngster. Was 15 at the time of joining Brentford from Chelsea. Chris Mepham, and in the end he did leave Brentford in 2019 for Bournemouth, where they were in the Premier League at the time, and he did play 25 times in the Premier League last year. Mepham for Bournemouth, scoring once against Sheffield United, but he's now against his former club in the Championship playoff semi-final. He's going to have to play alongside Carter Vickers. Like I said, what a very strange injury. No one around him. He's gone to pass it, and I think he's just twisted an ankle. 2 minutes were added on. We've played nearly 3 minutes of it. I think we'll get some more added on time. And we're back underway now with Mepham on the ball, playing it over to Lloyd Kelly. Left back in the Bournemouth half. Out wide it goes to David Brooks. Oh, goes through the legs. Lovely of Ruslev, and he's been held back by the right wing back. And it'll be a free kick to Bournemouth on the left, and it will be a yellow card for Ruslev. Sorry for any buffering you've just had there. Sorry for the buffering. If you didn't hear what I said because of the buffering, basically David Brooks looked to get down the left hand side of Bournemouth as he looks like he switched wings with Dan Juma, and he just got pulled back by Roerslev, who picked up a booking as well, cleared though by Ivan Toney, and that'll be half time. I think that will be half time. 0-0. A lot of chances. It's been quite the half. Sorry for another bit of buffering there. A little bit annoying. But yeah, I don't know if we're back yet, but if we are, I'm pretty sure we are. But yeah, it's half time. It is 0-0. Fair few chances for both teams. You could say it was a very quick start, and you could really say Bournemouth were the better team early on. They were forcing Brentford to commit a lot of challenges, frustrating them very much so. But as the game went on, Brentford grew into it. Bournemouth had a few chances. They hit the post early on with Dominic Solanke, did Bournemouth, but it didn't end up reaching the back of the net, deflected off the post and behind for a goal kick for Brentford. In the end, no real chances for Brentford in terms of testing Asmir Begovic, or the likes of Ivan Toney and Marcus Forss haven't yet really troubled the Bosnian in the goal of Bournemouth. And there was a penalty shout on Tariq Fosu as his foot was kicked by Adam Smith. The Bournemouth right back but nothing was seen by the referee. Didn't give a free kick or anything like that. And then the game unfolded. Bournemouth struggled to create. Bournemouth looked probably the better team in the end, but no goals as of yet. It is half time. It's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. Will we get a goal in the second half? I really do hope so. Let's hope for it anyway. But yeah, that is the first half done and dusted. It's Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. We have been forced into a late change at half time. If you just came in late, Steve Cook, the captain for Bournemouth, had to be substituted off due to an injury picked up when passing the ball. It was off the ball. Well, I say off the ball. He was passing the ball, but no one was around him. So it's a self-inflicted injury by Steve Cook, the captain. It could be a massive, massive blow for Bournemouth, as he was replaced just on the stroke of half time by Chris Mepham, formerly of Brentford himself. So we'll see how that change plays out in the end. But yeah, for half time, the second half will kick off again in around 15 minutes time. Oh my god, what's going on? Sorry for any buffering you get. My OBS is just being absolutely shocking. And it is really annoying me. And I don't know why as well. Yeah, sorry for the buffering that's going on. I don't even mind, but I've not even used my PC today. Yeah, other than that Solanke hitting the post, we've not really had a big chance in this game. It's been end to end, but like I said, no real big chances are being created. So yeah, interested to see how the second half will play out. As I will change that to the second half now, just in case I forget to do it. But if you've been watching the game, tell me what you think, or if you've been listening, tell me what you think. I do think Bournemouth have been the better team, despite finishing lower than Brentford in the table, and Brentford winning at Bournemouth not too long ago. They came in April and won 1-0 about a month ago. At 77th minute, Mbuemo winner was the difference in that game. So, you would feel like Brentford will come into this game with a bit more confidence, but they've really struggled against Bournemouth. They've been the better team. They've hit the post. Brentford have not really caused Bournemouth much stress, and they've gone at half time. They're going to have to rethink their ideas, Brentford, and try and get an advantage in this game, in this first leg. Yeah, very, very, very interesting first half. But yeah, as you can hear, not feeling the greatest, but I've been able to do this commentary, and I'm glad it's been a good game. I know we've not had goals yet. I am hoping and I am presuming that the goals will come. I mean, like I said, Bournemouth being the better team, created one big chance themselves. Other than that, there's not really been many chances. I'm going to do the analysis here. That's the Brentford penalty claim. That was in the 9th minute when the ball was deflected away by Carter Vickers, and then Fosu got there ahead of Adam Smith, kicked the ball away from Adam Smith, and then also got his foot kicked by Adam Smith. Probably should have been if VAR was used, that would have been a penalty, I think, on Fosu winning the penalty for his team, because Fosu was clearly has been kicked there by Adam Smith, and Adam Smith has won none of the ball. That's the difference in this league. No VAR, so the referee gets one chance to make a decision, and that's it. It's a bit of a tough job at times. So that was a penalty not given for Brentford. If that had been given, Ivan Toney steps up and scores 1-0 10th minute. We could be seeing a different game. But then that Solanke chance that I was talking about was unfortunate. Lord Kelly did like to bring a few balls into the box. Remember that Jefferson Lerma volley? That was around the 15th minute. That was quite the thunder strike, but just went wide. Brooks been played in on the right. He pulled it back to Billing, who scuffed his shot as well. That went quite far wide of the post as well. So Bournemouth have definitely had their chances in this half, a lot more than Brentford. They've only had a penalty claim to really claim themselves as their chance. And here is the Solanke ball by Kelly. Hits the post. Very unfortunate from Dominic Solanke, formerly of Chelsea and Liverpool, looking to score the goal in the playoffs. And then a lifted corner by Danjuma. Cook won the first header, saved by Raya. On the rebound, Brooks tried to strike it at the near post, but Ivan Toney used his defensive instincts to get on the line and to block that shot. And you could say Bournemouth very unlucky not to have gone in at least 1-0 up, to be fair. You could say they deserve at least to be 1-0 up with the fans as well. That'll definitely give their fans confidence of maybe coming out in the second half and taking the lead against this Brentford side who, in terms of stats this season, it's quite close. Bournemouth have scored 73 goals. Brentford have scored 76. Bournemouth conceded 46. Brentford have conceded 42. And then they've both kept 17 clean sheets each. So in terms of goals and conceded and clean sheets, they're very tight. And it's just the fact that Brentford have lost 7, Bournemouth lost 13. And then Brentford drew more than they lost. It means Bournemouth kind of slipped just away from them in the points tally, ended up finishing 11 points behind Brentford. So Brentford should be the favourites, but Bournemouth have really stepped up this game and took the game to Brentford and have been the better team and undeserved. You could say they're unfortunate not to be in the lead at half time, but in football you're not given things, you've got to work for them to score, and they haven't done that yet. Yeah, the second half will be getting back underway, I think about 5 minutes time, I'm presuming. Thanks to all the new subscribers as well. It's 578 now. I think we've gained about 2. That's absolutely fantastic. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream. I'm enjoying the game, despite not feeling the greatest, not sounding the greatest. Anyway, I don't feel too bad. I want to get the commentaries coming up. Like I said, not many left for this season. So we can tick this one off. So, the second leg of this game on Saturday, unfortunately, I cannot commentate on. Unfortunately, that's the 22nd of May. Obviously, from today, fans are allowed back into stadiums, and I'm a season ticket of a non-league team in the National League. So, unfortunately, I can't commentate because I'll be at the game, and I cannot miss out on returning back to stadiums. I can't miss out. So obviously, if I'm well enough, I'll be going to that. So no commentary, unfortunately, for the second leg, which I'm gutted about. I'll try and watch the game if I get back in time, but I just can't commentate on it. I won't get back in time where I can prepare and all that. It's just not doable. So I'm going to have to miss that one out, unfortunately. So I'm going to get rid of that now. But then, dependent on if the Europa League final between Villarreal and Manchester United, if that is put on YouTube for free by BT Sport, then I won't commentate on it because the game's on YouTube. You don't need my commentary. But if it's just on BT Sport and not put on YouTube, then I will commentate on the Europa League semi-finals on the 26th. But then if that is on YouTube and I can't commentate on that, then there will be a commentary from now the 17th till the 29th, so 12 days. There'll be a break on commentaries where I'll come back for the Championship playoff final, which is on the 29th of May, all being well. So the day of the Champions League final, obviously it'll be played, before the Champions League final. I think it'll kick off around 5:30, I'm presuming, or maybe 3 o'clock kick off, whatever it is. I'll be here for that, hopefully all being well, as long as my day's smooth. So worst comes to worst, this could be the last commentary of the season. If the Europa League final is not on YouTube, then we'll have the Europa League final and the Championship playoff final. And the very worst this could be the last commentary because I'm busy for the Championship playoff final day. But who knows? We're just going to have to find out. But make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on, then you know if those will be happening. If this is the last one, then, let's hopefully it'll be a good game. If it's not, then hopefully we'll have maybe the Europa League final. We'll also have the Championship playoff final. So still 2 more big games to come on this channel, hopefully, all being well. But yeah, the second leg won't be commentated on because I am busy. I don't say unfortunately, but it's me going back into a stadium. I can't wait. Like, seriously, cannot wait. I'm very excited, very, very excited. So, yeah, let's just hope this ends like 5-4 in the second half, and the second leg can't be topped. I mean, the first leg can't be topped, but I don't think that'll happen. I think this will be. I'm going to 2-0 Bournemouth. I don't think Brentford will score. I really don't. I don't know why. I just think Bournemouth have been the better team. Brentford have, but then again, Brentford could come out this second half and rock Bournemouth and get an early goal, and then I look stupid. But like I said, I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling Bournemouth will take this game. I'm not saying they'll take the semi-final and they'll go to the final. I'm not saying that because the second leg could be completely different. But what I'm saying is, this first leg, I think Bournemouth could take the advantage to the second leg. But, like I said, who knows? Football's football. Look at Sky. Football all the time, isn't it? It's just, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's been pretty shocking not being able to go into stadiums, but there has been football nearly every single day. Every single time of the day as well. As here, Swansea. Travelled down to Barnsley for the first leg. Barnsley-Swansea. By the way, what an achievement, by the way, for Barnsley to just survive against Brentford last day of last season, to then, bounce back the next season and finish in the playoffs. Absolutely ridiculous. But they've got into the playoffs. They've got to try and do something about it. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be all doom and gloom saying, "Oh, well done, Barnsley," but if you don't get to the playoff final, it's a failure. It's not, but what I'm saying is, will Barnsley be able to replicate what they've done this year? If they can, then obviously they'll be in the playoffs next year. But if they go back to what they were last season and struggle again, then they might miss out on a massive opportunity to get a chance to play in Premier League, you know what I mean? So that'll be interesting. I'll definitely be watching that playoff final. Harry AR, hi, hope you're doing alright. Thank you to everyone who is here, who's liking, subscribing. If you've got any second half predictions, let me know. Because the second half will be getting back underway in about 2 minutes' time. We're on 5, 7, 8 subscribers. If we get hit 580, that would be fantastic. Second half live commentary returning in about a minute's time. Bournemouth are in the tunnel. Just standing in the tunnel for now is now captain. Asmir Begovic will lead them back out. Steve Cook injured before half-time. He went to pass the ball, I think twisted an ankle or something and had to be forced off. Substituted for Chris Mepham, formerly of Brentford. So that's the only change of the game so far, unless there's any half-time changes, but I don't think there will be from either team. So Bournemouth coming back out, I'm presuming from a roar from the Bournemouth fans who are back in the ground for today's game. Obviously first day where fans are allowed back in. Is that a change? Have we got another change for Bournemouth? Or is that Lloyd Kelly? Looks like, I think it was Lloyd Kelly. I don't think there's any more Bournemouth changes as of yet, but if there is, I'll let you know. As they'll just wait for Brentford now as Jonathan Woodgate stands waiting. Obviously had a bit of an unsuccessful time at Middlesbrough as manager. Managed Middlesbrough 41 times, only won 9. of the games, as Brentford are also now in the tunnel waiting to come back out onto the field of play. And then obviously Thomas Frank, like I said, in the game, in the pre-match game paragraph, he was the assistant manager to Dean Smith when he was manager at Brentford, and then when Dean Smith left for Aston Villa, Thomas Frank was brought in as a permanent manager, and he's been quite a successful manager so far. Just not yet got that promotion into the Premier League. Obviously, the heartbreaker last year, losing to Fulham in extra time with Brian scoring twice for Fulham, and then Dalsgaard scoring just a consolation goal at the end, meant they've had to do this all over again. And they're going to have to do the playoffs all over again as both teams are back out. It'll be Bournemouth kicking left to right, Brentford right to left. It'll be Bournemouth to kick off with Dominic Solanke. We'll wait for the referee's whistle, and we'll get him back underway for this second half. For this Championship semi-final, first leg between Bournemouth and Brentford. And here we go. Tim Robinson, he's about to blow the whistle. And we are back underway for the second half. Lerma's been given the ball. He sends it out wide left up towards Danjuma, who will give chase on Pontus Jansson, who will just see it out for a goal kick. And we are back underway with a goal kick for Brentford. It'll be David Raya to take. The Spanish goalkeeper. No appearances for his country at any level. David Raya, now at the age of 25. So we've got timer back underway. Thrown for Pontus Jansson as Bournemouth won the header on the David Raya clearance. Matiev, I didn't see your message, sorry. I don't know what you said. I was just sorting the timer out then. I always forget. I don't want to forget. I need to try and find a 90-minute timer though. I need to try and find that. I just don't have time. Janssen throws it in towards Force, who wins the header to Roerslev. Tries to play it inside, but he's been dispossessed, and it's now with Ben Pearson. Plays it out wide left to Danjuma. Just lays it behind Lloyd Kelly, who can keep it in on the halfway. Played back to Danjuma, who's been caught by Ivan Toney. Now Jensen on the ball. Plays it inside over to Tariq Fosu. He's got Sergi Canos on the left in support, and he will use him in the final third. Shifts onto his right foot. Works across into the back post where the head has been won by Lloyd Kelly. And we'll just bobble over towards Roerslev, who goes back to Jensen. First time cross, met by Lloyd Kelly, but not too convincingly, as Nordgaard helps it back in towards the box. Adam Smith with the header. And helped on by Billing. Held on to by Solanke as he's been... he ended up piggybacking Janssen as the free kick's been given to Bournemouth. That's absolutely ridiculous. He had the card for Janssen, who was sent off at the Vitality Stadium in that game in April, where Brentford did win 1-0. They went down to 10 men. Janssen was sent off, and then as they were down to 10 men, they ended up winning the game with one less man. So that was the last meeting between the two sides. At this stadium it was as well. So 2 meetings at this ground in the space of about a month. The last one was 1-0 to Brentford. Will we get a bit of a similar scoreline? And will Janssen get sent off again? Who knows? As Lloyd Kelly sends it down the left-hand side. Cut out by Roerslev. Forward to Jensen it goes. Lifted ball, where Force will give chase against Carter Vickers. The American will get there first, the centre-back, and will play it away from Force. And he now finds Lloyd Kelly. Back to Carter Vickers. And towards the corner flag on the left-hand side. Needs to work a clearance. He does do so off Ivan Toney. And it falls inside to Mepham. Goes over to Adam Smith as Bournemouth have got it out of that sticky situation. Who do you want to go up? I'd love Bournemouth to go up. Not Bournemouth, sorry. Barnsley. Not Bournemouth, sorry. Got my B's mixed up. To be fair, there's 3 teams with B's in the name, isn't it? Brentford, Bournemouth, Barnsley. I'd love to see Barnsley to go up. As Adam Smith does bring it away here on the right. I just think it'd be a fantastic story. A great fairy tale story. Would they last in the Premier League? Probably not. But we have seen the likes of Huddersfield and Sheffield United stay up in their first season. Yes, they probably went down the season after, but I would like to see Barnsley go up just to see how they would handle the Premier League. What upsets they could cause. It's Lloyd Kelly in the Brentford half finds Philip Billing. Formerly of Huddersfield as well, the Danish international. Kelly down the line towards Danjuma, deflects off Roerslev, out for a throw for Bournemouth. Fenno mixes here as well. Hello. So everyone who's here, who's I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest Championship, viewers. For Mads Roerslev, the right wing back, number 30, is that how you pronounce his name? Because I've been checking up on it, and I think that's how you say it. cross put in by Bournemouth, deflected and cleared away by Fosu. Only as far as Mepham. Now forward to Lerma, over to Pearson. It's now David Brooks, who's now back over on the right-hand side. Drifts over into the centre, looking for a ball forward. Deflects, though, back to Ben Pearson, so Bournemouth still in possession. Works its way out to the right-hand side to Adam Smith. Back inside to Pearson. Solanke drops a little bit deep for the ball. Poor touch, but it's cleared away by Jensen, only as far as the opposite number 8, Lerma. Out to Kelly. Lerma. Brooks, first-time ball, looking for Philip Billing, cold on his feet. And in the end, it's cleared by Brentford in the end as they took it away from Bournemouth. But only as far as Carter Vickers, who gets there to Marcus Force. Now Begovic, who clears it forward. Header won, though, by Ethan Pinnock. Nods it forward to Fosu. Away from Pearson. Plays it over to Ivan Toney. It's now Jensen. As Roerslev will join the attack. Will he play it? He will play it into Roerslev. And he'll cross it first time, only as far as Lloyd Kelly. And he'll just roll out for a throw-in. That's how you pronounce that, I think. Okay. Because I'm not too familiar with the Brentford team, if I'm going to be honest. I was looking at him, I was thinking, is that how you say it? But he's on the ball now anyways. It's poked down the right-hand side to Jensen. Goes into the box and inside to Ivan Toney. Forced on the edge of the box by Mepham, and he's playing it back to Roerslev. Leaves it for Jensen. Who'll drill it on the ground. Off Jefferson Lerma it goes and deflects out and spins out for a corner kick for Brentford. Big chance here for the Bees. Can they take the upper hand in this first leg after Bournemouth having the better of the chances in the first half? Could Brentford snap back early and get a lead of their own in the reigning Bournemouth? Janssen's in the box. They've got Nordgaard, Pinnock in there as well. Roerslev and Force. They've got many men in the box. Thanks to everyone who is here. If you can like, subscribe, that'd be fantastic for this Championship playoff final first leg. They're situated at the far post as before the free kick, or the corner will be taken, Carter Vickers and Ivan Toney will be pulled away by the referee, and he's just telling them, look, keep those arms down, keep it fair, and let's get this corner taken in a manner where there'll be no free kicks or penalties given away. Yeah, they're all directing the far post, and it's been put in towards the near post as they come forward, headed away though by Carter Vickers, and it'll be Roerslev to try and play it back to his own teammate, and he has done so with Jensen. It's now on the corner taker, Yarnelt. It's now Jensen back over to Sergi Canos, who clips it towards the far post where Pinnock will win the header. Inside, overhead kick, and over the bar it goes. It's an audacious attempt there by, I think, Nordgaard, the centre half. It was clipped in by Canos. Found Pinnock at the back post, who beat Lloyd Kelly to it. And about 8 yards out, it was just behind him. So he's looked to do the overhead kick motion there, Nordgaard, playing it towards goal. But in the end, he just directed it over the crossbar. It probably would have been saved anyway by Begovic if it was on target. Well, Brentford, in the first 7 minutes of the second half, looking a lot better in terms of chances created than they did in the first. Taken, goal kick. Billing can't help it on. Falls to Jensen in the end. Back to Janssen, the centre half, formerly of Leeds United. It's now Raya. Towards the right-hand side, Jensen picks it up, beats his opposition number 8, plays it back in the end, and played forward to Force. Heavy touch, and it falls to Lloyd Kelly. It's now Lerma. Forward to Billing. Played through first time to the left-hand side. It's Danjuma. Plays the cross towards Brooks. Too much on it, but Danjuma's offside anyway. How do you feel about Alisson's goal? I'm not going to lie, I'm not a Liverpool fan, and I'm not a big fan of just Liverpool in general, but I was like, wow, fair play. Unbelievable header so late on. 95th minute to keep the Champions League hopes alive. They had to win the game as well, really, Liverpool, if they were going to get top 4. So fantastic for Alisson, and, obviously tributed it to his late father, and, talks about the support he got from all other clubs after the passing of his dad, and it was just great to see, wasn't it? Sorry, the light that I used just kind of just fell a little bit. Let me just put it back to where it was. That's why my arm just came out. It was about to fall. But it's great to see so many people in the stream. Like I said, I don't sound the greatest, but this game is really, gave me something to get my hopes up for, get my recovery going. There's Lerma. There's a little bit going on here. I'm not sure what really happened, to be honest. The ball was played forward. It'll be a free kick now to Brentford for the offside on Danjuma. His Billing played it through towards him. Nordgaard looking for an option. He'll play it down the right-hand side, where it'll be Roerslev to give chase. Mepham does intercept, but only as far as Roerslev. Didn't really get the ball too far as he plays it back to Ivan Toney in a right wing back area. Plays it into the box to Fosu. Back to goal. So lays it into Roerslev. Dummies the first cross and looks to take on Lloyd Kelly. Shifts it over the outside of him and falls to the deck. Keeps it in though as Roerslev is trying to work the cross. Plays it back in the end to Janssen, the centre-back, who's come up from centre-half. Tries to go inside. Deflects, though, into Danjuma, who pokes it in towards Philip Billing. He lets it go for Solanke, who then plays it forward to David Brooks. They've got men over here, Bournemouth. What a chance. Brooks plays it over towards Danjuma. In the box. Right-footed into the bottom right corner. Bournemouth take the lead in the playoff semi-final first leg. It's a counter-attack of all counter-attacks. They took their chances. They came forward in numbers. And in front of a Bournemouth faithful that have waited all season for a moment like this, they have delivered with Danjuma with the goal. 10 minutes into the second half, they had such a good first half against this Brentford team who have beaten them both times this season, home and away. They're not letting them win this one. Janssen caught in possession as he got forward into a right winger position. The centre-back broke forward with Danjuma, poked it towards Billing, he let it go for Solanke, who spreaded it wide right to David Brooks. All the options were to his left. He played it across. He misses Billing and Solanke to find Danjuma in the space. On the left-hand side, right-footed, opened up the body. And David Raya had no chance as it was slotted right into that bottom right corner. Bournemouth 1, Brentford 0. And is it going to be another heartbreak in the playoffs for Brentford come the end of that second leg? Because they're currently behind. And to the delight of Jonathan Woodgate, who lets out a lot of passion, Bournemouth take the lead. As I throw my phone about, that's how excited I am. We've got the first goal. Well deserved for Bournemouth. They've been the better team. And 10 minutes into the second half, Danjuma scores for Bournemouth as JanElt, the midfielder, was just caught late there. I think by Danjuma, the goal scorer. And it'll be a free kick for Brentford as they've got all the work to do now. But Danjuma, what a player he has been for Bournemouth. What a revelation. He made his 50th appearance against Stoke in the last game of the season for Bournemouth, in the last game of the proper championship season, obviously before the playoffs. It looks like a triple change for Brentford. I hate triple changes as a commentator. Anyway, free kick for Brentford. It's about 15 yards ahead of the halfway line, but the pitch again is so small it can easily be put in the box. So they're sending players up here, Brentford, and it's going to be gliding in towards the far post to Pinnock, who keeps it alive with a header. Heads it back in. Philip Billing clears away only as far as Fosu, who gets there ahead of Brooks. Down the left-hand side, works across, and it's just a little bit mishit there by Fosu. Out for a goal kick. It goes for Begovic, as it could be a time for a triple change for Brentford, as Thomas Frank, the manager, clearly isn't happy with what he's seeing, and rightly so. They have been really poor today, Brentford. They've had one chance, and it's not even a chance, it was a penalty appeal. Other than that, they've really not been the better team in this game. Don't think they're making the changes yet, Brentford, but they're definitely ready. Oh no, they're so ready. They're coming on. 3 changes. Here we go. Right, so Marcus Force, the striker. Marcus Force is off, who hasn't had a great game today. He's only got the 7 goals this season, only 9 starts in 39 championship appearances. He's off. Right, so Force, Roerslev, and Fosu off for Rico Henry, Emiliano Marcondes, and also Brian Mbeumo is on. So Force, Fosu, Roerslev off, Rico Henry, Emiliano, and Mbeumo on for Brentford. A triple change. Will it make the difference? We're going to have to wait and see. But Rico Henry's on. He's missed the last 15 league games of injury, Rico Henry, but he returns for this game, the most important game of Brentford's season so far. And obviously, Thomas Frank, like I said, not happy with what his team's seeing. And if there is any Brentford fans in here, what do you say for the number 9? His name is Emiliano Marcondes. Do you just use his first name? I'm presuming you do, because on the Brentford Twitter they all use his first name, and on there they all use his first name as well. So I'm going to just go with Emiliano. So if you've got a problem or it's wrong, let me know. It's back underway with the Bournemouth goal kick to Danjuma. Tries to play back over to Lloyd Kelly. Just about works it away from Ivan Toney, but just plays it out for a throw-in the end. Lloyd Kelly with a bit of panic, really, because there wasn't many options around him. So it's a throw-in for Bournemouth, for Brentford, and for Bournemouth to defend in quite a dangerous area. Sergi Canos, who's gone over to the right-hand side, takes it quickly into Ivan Toney, tries to get the ball back in towards the path of Sergi Canos, but the touch from Ivan Toney's poor. And it'll be a throw-in for Bournemouth this time, as we've just got over half an hour to play. And it'll be Lloyd Kelly to take. The Bournemouth fans getting their team rallied up. Throws it in towards Dom Solanke. Can't keep it alive, unfortunately. Now Janssen. Over to Nordgaard, the central centre-half. On the halfway line. Plays across to Ethan Pinnock, the Jamaican international. It's now Rico Henry on the left-hand side, the number 3. Brentford fans will be very glad he's back in the starting 11. He plays it towards the left-hand side to Emiliano. Loses out. It's now Adam Smith. Goes inside to Danjuma. Lays it into Jefferson Lerma. First-time ball out wide left to Solanke. A little bit behind him, and he does take it in his control. Only fires a recovering Sergi Canos, so he got there quickly and took the ball away from the feet of Dominic Solanke. It's now with Nordgaard on the edge of the 18-yard box again. Melt. Now back to Nordgaard. Ushering his team forward, but he does switch it to the right-hand side. Nice ball to Sergi Canos, who's gone from the left wing-back area now to the right wing-back area. He's put an early cross in. It's been laid in by Buemo, and it's a shot onto the side netting by Jensen. First big chance for Brentford, and we're an hour in. Kind of says the story of the game. Great ball in, though, by Sergi Canos, and Buemo got in front of Carter Vickers, got a flick on him behind, and on the right-hand side of the box, tight angle, Matthijs Jensen decides to shoot the number 8. I don't think he was ever beating Asmir Begovic from that angle, but hit it with venom, and right into the side netting it goes, and still 1-0 to Bournemouth, but that's Brentford's first big chance, and it falls to the hands of midfielder Matthijs Jensen, who's also played 50 games now in all competitions, now on 51 for the season, scoring twice and assisting 8. Ball played forward. Solanke does head it on. Only as far as Nordgaard, who takes a touch and then lifts it over towards Rico Henry in the left wing-back area. Back to David Raya, the goalkeeper. As Brentford were 4 points away from Watford at the end of the season. That's a poor ball from Raya, intercepted by Lerma, but thankfully the header from Lerma has gone right back to a Brentford player, so Raya gets away with his poor kick. Now Henry, right on the halfway line. Back to Ethan Pinnock. Brentford just haven't been so great this game. None of their big players really stepping up. As a ball over the top has been collected by Begovic. As Rico Henry looked to get in behind, rolled out quickly to Adam Smith. Plays it forward to David Brooks, using the full width of the pitch there. Bournemouth has been brought down unfairly, says the referee, by Jan Elt. And there'll be a free kick for Bournemouth, as Brooks just loves to run at players, and he does cause issues. The Wales Player of the Year of 2018, David Brooks. And he also spent 10 years at Manchester City from 2004 to 2014 before leaving and then going to the likes of Sheffield United and then Bournemouth, as Brooks is the one to take this free kick to Billing, gets the layoff. So Brooks again. Forward to Adam Smith, then back to Brooks. Then across to Ben Pearson. Back into David Brooks. Centre of the pitch is Solanke, back to goal, tries to turn Janssen, and he does do so, plays it forward to Lerma, who gets there ahead of Pinnock, and then finds Danjuma, the goal scorer, on the left. Goes onto his right foot, gets beyond Ivan Toney and keeps it. Danjuma plays it across to Adam Smith on the opposite side. Down the line towards Billing, is he onside? No, he leaves it for Danjuma, who then clips it into the box, headed away to David Brooks in the box. Tries to get beyond a few Brentford defenders, but couldn't quite get the shot away. He's ended up falling to David Raya, who rolls it out quickly to the right-hand side to Sergi Canos, and Bournemouth nearly score again. Brooks just couldn't quite get the shot away as Ivan Toney keeps it alive and plays it over to Jensen, who just had a shot a few minutes ago and it hit the side netting. It's now Emiliano, substitute, one of 3 substitutes Brentford made around 5 minutes ago. Now Rico Henry, back to Emiliano, the central attacking midfielder. Now Buemo into Janssen, tries to get the return on the left, gets there ahead of Carter Vickers, but as he tries to cross, Carter Vickers gets there ahead of him, blocks that cross, and concedes the corner. Good defending by the American. It's been good today, Carter Vickers. When I watched him against Southampton in the FA Cup quarter-final, he wasn't quite at it that day, but today he has been fantastic. He did let Buemo get there ahead of him, but as Buemo put the cross in, he wasn't allowing that to go in, that's for sure. Put his body on the line, and concedes the corner where it'll be Matthijs Jensen to take it. It'll be a right-footed in-swinger where Bournemouth will have to be strong for this corner if they want to keep this lead that they've got in this playoff semi-final. Crossed in, Begovic, he parries it and then collects the seconds in the 6-yard area. Good goalkeeping by the Bosnian. He's now 33 years of age, Asmir Begovic, and looking for his 30th clean sheet in 120 Bournemouth games. Can he get it? We'll have to see. If they do keep a clean sheet, they've won the first leg, but can they add to that goal tally they've got? Lloyd Kelly, though, back to Mepham, who's slotted in nicely in this game as he had to replace Steve Cook late on in the first half as he was injured, the Bournemouth captain. Now back with Begovic, clears it towards the left-hand side. Billing can't flick it on just over his head, and it falls to Emiliano. Inside to Yarnell, tries to go across. Not to a Brentford player, though. It's to Brooks, who tries to swing it forward quickly towards Danjuma. Too much on it. Falls to David Raya in the end. It's now forward to Jensen. Lifted ball, way too much on it. Over it goes the head of Sergi Canos, as Thomas Frank looks to try and, inspire his players into becoming a little bit better than what they're doing at the minute. Not really the team that we're used to seeing, this Brentford side today. Long thrown forward, headed away by Janssen, out for another throw for Bournemouth as they just push up more into the Brentford half. As for Bournemouth, they have had 5 promotions as a club. Obviously, their latest one was back in the 2014-15 season as they won the Championship to get into the Premier League. Before that, they were promoted in the 2012-13 season, the 91-92 season, the 86-87, 81-82 and 70-71 season. So they've had 5 promotions as a club. They won that 6th. They have been a member of the Football League since 1923, so they've got a rich vein of history in the Football League in terms of promotions, a few relegations as well. Ivan Toney tries to receive the ball, doesn't get it, but the tackle does fall back to another Brentford player. It's now Sergi Canos, back in towards Ivan Toney, can't find the striker. Ben Person intercepts and plays it forward to Solanke. Tries to get past Pinnock, good defending. Jensen gets it through the legs there, I think of a sliding challenge of David Brooks. And Brentford can bring it forward again with Emiliano. Over to Sergi Canos. Mbuemo down the right receives it. Has to hold it up against Chris Mepham. And just play it back to Sergi Canos. Inside it goes to Jan Elt. Through the gap. The number 9, Emiliano, who tries to shoot the big frame of the Bosnian keeper, saves it. And as he saved it, it came off off Emiliano last, and he wins a goal kick. Great ball through by Jan Elt to Emiliano, who got a shot away, deflected off Begovic, then back off Emiliano, who'd got in the space to get the shot away. Let's see, come off the chest of Begovic, then back off Emiliano, out for a goal kick, rightly given by the linesman. And Bournemouth can breathe again, but a good save by the big frame of the Bosnian Begovic. My throat's really hurting now, as you could probably hear in my voice. Oh. It's not coronavirus, by the way. It's not COVID. It's not COVID. Begovic towards the left-hand side. Billing again can't win his header. Janssen was the one who flicked it behind him and out for a throw in right on the halfway line. I can see the sunlight right there, so I'm going to just close the curtain quickly. Hopefully that's good enough. I think it is. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that's okay, isn't it? It's not in my eyes anyway now. As Brentford pick up the ball from the Bournemouth throw-in. Ball forward. Offside though in Mbuemo. Toney did pick up the long ball. Well, the knockdown from the long ball anyway, but he was offside. We have played 68 minutes of this first leg. Bournemouth have a deserved lead. Mbuemo's not offside there. I don't know what the linesman's seen there. Not offside. I think it was actually Carter Vickers who won the header anyway, and it fell to Ivan Toney. That could have been a good chance for Brentford, but they won't see that chance. For the last few seasons for Brentford, they finished third this season. They finished third this last season as they went into the playoffs. But then before then, so during the kind of the transition to Thomas Frank, they finished 11th, and then under Dean Smith, 9th and 10th. So they've gone for a mid-table team under Dean Smith. Thomas Frank took over permanently, and they're now finishing third place. So it's quite a rise, to be fair, for Brentford under Thomas Frank. He's done a great job. He just needs to finish that job by getting him into the Premier League. As Billing finds Solanke, can't poke it back into Billing. It's now with Sergi Canos on the right-hand side. Gets beyond one and a second, but not a third. Is a great slide challenge from Kelly. Plays the ball out of play for a throw for Brentford and stopping a counter-attack, which looked quite a fierce one under Sergi Canos. Pontus Jansson throws it back to Nordgaard, who's about 20 yards away from the Brentford goal line, as it's now Ethan Pinnock over to Rico Henry. Like I said, missed his last 15 games of the Championship season, but he's got himself recovered in time to come on for a bit of this game as Jensen. Beautiful low driven ball towards Emiliano on the right hand side. A ball across by Sergi Canos. Chris Mepham gets there ahead of Mbuemo, and it'll be a corner kick for Brentford. You might have seen Brian Mbuemo, I think it was on French television. He was doing an interview whilst having a new haircut. Literally sat in the barber's with his earphones in, the camera being held while he gets his haircut. Not sure how much of the haircut he was being given, because to me he looks a little bit on the bolder side, you could say. So I don't think it would have been a long job for the barber, but quite ridiculous when I saw it on social media. Brian Mbuemo being interviewed whilst getting a haircut, but you know that's the world we live in now. Ben Pearson, the fourth player now down, by the way, for Bournemouth. They've had Steve Cook down before he even had to come off injured. They had David Brooks down at one point. They've had Adam Smith down at one point. Now Ben Pearson's gone down. Don't know if it's with cramp or a bit of a muscular injury. But yeah, going to look back at that goal by Danjuma in the 55th minute, as Brentford had probably been the better team in the first 10 minutes of that second half. The first half performance from Bournemouth was probably rewarded through this counter-attack. They picked it up, worked it to Brooks, back over to the left of Danjuma, opened the body, right foot, bottom corner, and Janssen, who was sent off in the reverse fixture at this ground a month ago, who was sent off in the 50th minute of that game, lost the ball for that counter-attack in this game, and he's looking like he could cost his team a little bit greater in this game, because the game he got sent off in the last one where it's 1-0, they actually ended up going on and winning, so, you know, kind of spared the blushes a little bit. But I think there's 5 changes allowed in the Championship, so there'll be another one for Brentford, it looks like. Not yet, as we hit the 71st minute. It's still a Brentford corner we're waiting to take, is Ben Pearson. I'm not sure if he's going to be substituted, but he's definitely going to have to go off on the side for now, because he received medical attention. Yeah, Ben Pearson has been replaced, and it'll be Jack Stacey to replace him. So a holding midfielder off and a right back on. So I think we'll have a bit of a reshuffle, I'm presuming, as Jack Stacey, the former Luton right back, comes on. Also formerly of Reading. He spent the majority of his career so far, Jack Stacey, 2004 to 2017, playing for the first team 6 times before leaving to Luton, and also having a loan spell while at Reading at Exeter. So we'll see what the reshuffle is when this corner's taken, as Brentford look to get back on level terms. Jensen, another floating ball in, and it goes right out of play. Shocking corner. Doesn't even reach the far post because it doesn't even stick in play. Poor from Jensen. Goal kick for Bournemouth. 18 minutes left in the game before additional time. Bournemouth definitely deserve the win so far, and Brentford have got it all to do in the second leg. If they can't pull themselves out of this mess in the first leg, at least they have a chance to maybe recover in the second, as there'll be a change. And it's going to be the midfielder, Vitaly Janelt, the man signed from Bochum of Germany this year. He'll be replaced by, I think, another returning injured man. So we had Rico Henry, who's been out for the last 15 games, and Henrik Dalsgaard will come on, who's been injured for the last 9. He's also captained the team 20 times this season in the Championship, Henrik Dalsgaard, and he'll also play the last 20 so minutes of the game. So he's missed the last 9 injured, but he is going to be fit enough to play the last 20 of this one. There's Billing, helps it forward down that right side, and here's Dalsgaard, first bit of defending, brings it down beautifully, plays it forward beautifully, and gets the return. What a start for Dalsgaard, the 31-year-old right back. Plays it forward. There's a switch ball now for Brentford over towards Rico Henry. Header won though by Adam Smith, and it'll be a throw in for Brentford. So let's see where Jack Stacey's positioned himself. Will he play midfield? I didn't know if he could play midfield. As it's Mbuemo, Jensen, Nordgaard to Pinnock. Brings it forward and just uses the left-hand side of Jensen to keep the ball for Brentford. It's now Pinnock again. On the left-hand side, plays back off to Jensen, and then across to Nordgaard, the number 6, who I think has gone into midfield now. Plays it across to Sergi Canos. Tries to go on the outside of Kelly, works across in, it deflects, and it's cleared in the end by David Brooks, and it'll be Dalsgaard to give chase. It'll be a throw in, and he will take the throw in. Dalsgaard, as I think Dalsgaard will play as a right centre back. Janssen will go into central centre back, allowing Nordgaard to go into midfield as Bournemouth won the ball back momentarily. And as far as Dalsgaard, who's won the ball back and plays it out wide right. So Emiliano inside. And across to Jensen. Venomous ball over to Rico Henry, brings it down, he's one-on-one with Adam Smith, goes on the inside, then on the outside, on the byline, looks to cross the ball, runs out of space, I think runs out of balance as well, and out it goes for a goal kick. The cross was not good enough. Rico Henry wants to take Adam Smith on the inside, then on the outside, and just run out a bit of room and a bit of space really to get a good cross in, panics, and his cross has gone out for a goal kick. It's Brentford are struggling to score here, really struggling at the minute. The last time they were in the playoffs, Brentford, before last season, was in the 14-15 season. They played at Middlesbrough. First leg they lost 2-1, and then the second leg they lost 3-0 as well. So that wasn't the fondest of memories back in the 2014-15 season for Brentford in the playoffs. Then also last season as well, lost in the final. They were in League 2, Brentford, in the 08-09 season, finishing first on 85 points, above Exeter and Wycombe in second and third. So in the last 10 or so years, 10 plus years, Brentford have been on quite the journey from League 2 now into the Championship playoffs, where they've got so close to the Premier League, but not so far for Brentford, unfortunately. Throwing for Bournemouth, Torsolanke can't keep it in play, throwing for Brentford. And also Brentford, the last time they were in the top tier of English football was in the 1946-1947 season, just after World War II. They'd found themselves back in the top tier of English football, and once been relegated from it, they have not returned since. So it's been a long wait for the fans. A lot of the fans would have known nothing else but football that wasn't in the top tier for Brentford, but that could change as Jensen plays a ball forward to the edge of the box, where Emiliano concedes the free kick as he was holding on to the Bournemouth defender as he looked to try and receive the ball off Jensen. He was holding Chris Mepham, and the referee saw that as a foul by Emiliano. Full name, obviously, like I said before, being Emiliano Marcondes, the Danish international. Played 12 times for the under-21. He's now 26. Every time he's played Bournemouth, this is the third time he's played Bournemouth, every single time has been off the bench for Emiliano as he gives away this free kick, and it'll be Begovic to take the free kick. Obviously, Alisson scoring at the weekend. Begovic was the last keeper before Alisson to score in the Premier League as a goalkeeper, as that free kick goes out of play. Can't even reach the target of Billing, as Pinnock will come over to take the throw in for Brentford. Goes back over to Janssen, who's back in central centre-half. Plays it forward to Nordgaard, who's now in midfield. And it's now Dalsgaard, who play right centre-back, who's usually right-back. So they've had a bit of a switch around here, Brentford, as Nordgaard plays it forward to the right side to Emiliano. He's got Canos in support on the right. He's also got Ivan Toney making a run, but he'll use Canos back inside to Emiliano. Now finds Jensen, who's drifted over to the right-hand side. Gap through to Nordgaard. Takes a shot, and he goes all the way across towards Mbuemo, and he's put it wide. I'm not sure if Nordgaard was going for a cross or a shot. I think it's a mix of both. If it goes in, happy days. If it's a cross and someone gets it on the end of it and scores, again, great result. But the ball across goal spins. I think it's a cross. Nordgaard, who takes it on the turn, first time across goal. Oh, what a miss! What a miss! Ball across to Mbuemo, who scored the winner in the reverse fixture in this minute of the game, the 77th minute. Stretching for it, he got his right boot towards it and puts it a couple yards wide. What a miss. It was an open goal. Begovic was scrambling, and Mbuemo has missed an absolute sitter. It stays 1-0 to Bournemouth, but what a chance. Nordgaard spun, cross. I thought he was maybe going for a shot, but quite evidently it was a cross. Looking for Mbuemo, found him. Oh, and how has he missed? How has he missed? He's back underway anyway with Adam Smith. Will that be a chance to look back on as a big moment? As it's Jack Stacey down the right-hand side. Good tackle there by Rico Henry. Comes off Jack Stacey last for a goal kick for Brentford. And in terms of Jack Stacey, I think David Brooks went into the central attacking midfield role. Billing dropped into a holding midfield role. And Jack Stacey playing out wide right on the right wing. So, Brooks drifted central from the right to the central position. Billing plays all the midfield, and Jack Stacey's on the right-hand side as well. So, 2 right-backs down that right-hand side for Bournemouth. It's back underway. We've hit the 79th minute. Dalsgaard across to Pontus Jansson. Back out now to Dalsgaard again. Lifted ball, switch to the left-hand side. Up towards Mbeumo, nods it down across, but no Brentford players there. Can be cleared away first time by Lloyd Kelly. And a header one by Ethan Pinnock on Dom Solanke. They've retrieved possession now. Brentford, it's back with David Raya. Bournemouth fans are liking what they're seeing, despite it being a bit nervy in the last 5 or 10 minutes. As Brentford are starting to really put the pressure on. Jensen, ball over the top on the left. Can Rico Henry bring it down? He can, but too far ahead of him and he can't collect. Out it goes for a goal kick as he's met by jeers from the Bournemouth fans. Like I said, if this stays the same, they'll like what they're seeing. It's a Bournemouth change. David Brooks, who was just being told to play in a central attacking midfield role for now, is going to be replaced by someone who's a bit more natural in that position through Jack Wilshere, signed as a free agent this year. Obviously formerly of the likes of West Ham and Arsenal. Spent time here while they're in the Premier League and then has rejoined Bournemouth, and he's going to come off the bench for the last 10 minutes now. Jack Wilshere, we mentioned it earlier on in the commentary, he's missed 214 games of his career injured. That means he spent, of his career, 1,369 days injured. Absolutely ridiculous for Jack Wilshere. So unlucky with injury, but can he make an impact? Can he maybe get a second goal for Bournemouth, which would be absolutely massive to go into that second leg with, if they can get a 2-goal cushion. Begovic with a goal kick up towards Billing. Dalsgaard wins the header instead. Mepham heads it away for Bournemouth, only as far as Nordgaard, who leaps it in the air for Henry. Headed forward, only as far as Billing, who volleys it forward. Rico Henry will have to give chase, though, against Jack Stacey, and he's been dispossessed nearly on the ball. But he was pulled back there, Henry, by Jack Stacey, who gave chase, and a free kick in the end was given and taken quickly. And it's now with Janssen, the number 18, across to Hendrik Dalsgaard, who was the man who scored that consolation goal in the final last year against Fulham, when it really meant nothing in the end. It was literally one of the last kicks of the game. Hendrik Dalsgaard, only one of 7 goals he scored for Brentford. He's been at the club since 2017, Dalsgaard. Like I said, scored in the playoff final, but didn't really mean anything in the end, as Nordgaard goes over towards Canos. Can't play it down the line, it's been intercepted by Kelly, who then clears down the left-hand side channel. Brought down by Nordgaard in the end, quite easily under absolutely no pressure. The midfielder on the halfway line. Not really being pressed at the minute, as Wilshere will put a bit of pressure on, but he'll go across to Jensen. Now over to Ethan Pinnock. Left-footed ball, dinked with a bit of height on it, but not enough height to get in behind, and cleared by Bournemouth in the end up to Solanke, who takes a touch far right, and will let the ball run across his body, then play a ball down the line to Jack Stacey. Could be a chance here, he's looked for an early cross, trying to find Danjuma, had to be blocked off by Emiliano in the end, who's doing a bit of his defensive duties, and out for a corner, it spins. 8 minutes to go. If Bournemouth can win this game 2-0, it could really, really put them in the driving seat for the second leg. 1-0, it's always a bit of a edgy scoreline going into a second leg, because an early goal for Brentford can cancel that out straight away, but a 2-goal lead puts extra pressure on Brentford to have to put a good performance in their second leg. (1-0) to Bournemouth. 82 minutes played with 38 seconds on top of that. Danjuma, outswinger, ball in, headed away, only into the sky though, as Lerma will go for it. Tony wins the seconds, and then once more I think by Jensen, only as far as Wilshere. Oh, good control there by Adam Smith. Gets onto his right foot, plays it to the edge to Solanke as he's caught late there, Adam Smith, and a free kick will be given by the referee on the edge of the box. Solanke frustrated, the advantage wasn't played, but he was being pressured pretty quick there, so I think Bournemouth will be happy with the free kick. Adam Smith, who just got the pass ahead of Jensen as he looked to try and close down Adam Smith, released it to Solanke. He was looking to get a shot away on the edge, but I don't think the shot was ever going to be taken in the end, because he was met quickly by Emiliano. But the free kick, right on the left-hand side of the box for Bournemouth. It's a bit of a tight angle for a shot. It's that far left of the box, but a definite crossing opportunity if Danjuma decides not to shoot. Right in the corner of the box, on the edge as well. Danjuma will take, he's already got 1 goal in this game in the 55th minute, which is the goal currently giving Bournemouth the lead and giving them the advantage into the second leg. He could double that right now, Arnaut Danjuma. A free kick on the edge. Does he shoot or does he cross? We're going to find out. Danjuma. He shoots. Oh, it's a good save by Raya at the near post. Save had to be made. It was a strong save by the Spaniard. And it'll be a corner kick for Bournemouth. He went for the shot. He bent it over the wall and got a bit of curl on it. And it was met by cat-like reflexes from David Raya. Good save. Easy save. And a save you'd expect him to make. But, still a save he had to make, as Jonathan Woodgate maybe thought that was in for a second there. The former English centre-half, Jonathan Woodgate. It's Danjuma who won the corner from this free kick. Will now take the corner kick. Crosses it in, headed away by Tony again. He's done that a few times, the striker, Ivan Tony. Falls all as far as Jack Wilshere, will go all the way back to Begovic. Who then will clear it back forward first time. It goes in the air, and header won by Janssen, flicked on by Jensen, but cut out though by Lloyd Kelly as he was looking up towards Ivan Toney. As I think a free kick's been given, I think against Bournemouth for an offside. I'm not too sure what happened there, to be fair, but a free kick will be given for Brentford, and it'll be, I think, Jensen coming off. Who had a shot early in the first half. It was actually before the goal, I think around 50th minute. Jensen had the first real chance for Brentford, screaming it into the side netting, but he's been replaced now by the Iranian midfielder Saman Ghoddos. And I know that's how you pronounce it. If you think I pronounced it wrong, then I've heard a commentator say it as Saman Ghoddos. So he comes on the midfielder as Wilshere plays it away, and another counter-attack's on Danjuma. You've got Solanke on the far right to play a crossover to Solanke. He's now got Jack Stacey making a run forward. Decides not to use him and shoots instead. Right at Raya. Easy save. Bournemouth wasting another big chance to try and double their lead. As the ball's been rolled out to Emiliano. Now to the number 20, Saman Ghoddos. He's got the 3 goals this season in the Championship. He's not scored in his last 14 in the competition. But this is the playoffs. Anything can change. 4 minutes to go. Pulse out on time. So Bournemouth 1, Brentford 0. Bournemouth deserved the lead. It was a Danjuma goal, a counter-attacking goal, a perfect Bournemouth goal to give themselves the lead. Brentford just haven't been themselves so far in this game. Nordgaard to Emiliano. To the right to Dalsgaard, who will bring it forward. And goes far right to Sergi Canos. Takes a touch. Gets a cross in towards Ivan Toney. Headed away to the edge to Nordgaard. Left-footed strike over the bar it goes. Another big chance. Nordgaard earlier on in the half again. I think before the Bournemouth goal, it could have been after. He had an overhead kick attempt over the bar, and that left-footed strike's also gone over the bar. And once again, like that overhead kick strike, I say overhead kick, it was more just a bit of a slow chance to try to kick the ball over his head towards goal. But that time, he worked onto his left foot, and it was always rising. And like the last one, Bregovic would have had it covered anyway, I think. But Brentford aren't really struggling now. Unbeaten in their last 12, scoring 19 and only conceding 6, keeping 7 clean sheets in the process. But Bournemouth are holding out here for a victory. They've won the last 4 games, Brentford, a 2-1-0, a 2-0 and a 3-1. Did lose 3 in a row in mid-February, which did dent their automatic promotion hopes, because they were 4 points behind automatic promotion in the end. Brentford come the end of the season. But this great run they're on since the start of March, this 12 unbeaten, could come to an end in mid-May. Dalsgaard, ball into Ivan Toney, first time ball looking for Emiliano. Too much on it, and Lloyd Kelly deals with it beautifully. But then he's passed towards Adam Smith. Yeah, Adam Smith is a little short, but he's able to work a throw-in from Brentford. Adam Smith with a turn, which meaning Sergi Canos had to go through the back of him to win the ball, and a throw-in it is for Bournemouth. Lloyd Kelly to take 2 minutes until we hit the 90th minute. Bournemouth looking to get straight back into the Premier League after the departure of Eddie Howe. And a new management had to come in through Jonathan Woodgate. But they've got themselves in the playoffs. They've lost the ball here from a throw-in, and Brentford have it back in their own half now. It's with Pontus Jansson, who's having a bit more of a positive game from the last one where he was sent off. The last 4 meetings between the two teams have been in the Championship. They've been from 2014 to 2021. They did play each other as well 13 times in League One from 2004 to 2013. and then played each other twice in League Two in that 08-09 season, which I was talking about Brentford winning the league. In that season, Bournemouth finished 21st. How times change. How times change. Brentford try and play it forward, cut out by Bournemouth, and now Wilshere brings it forward beyond the halfway line, brought down by Saman Ghoddos, and concedes the free kick, and Bournemouth have time to breathe. Wilshere using experience to win the free kick. Can they do it? Fans back in the stadium, giving their team a lift, seeing their team over the line. They've waited a long time to get back into ground with a proper atmosphere and a proper meaningful game. They've waited and they've got their reward of maybe a very vital win. Begovic plays it forward, header won by Dalsgaard, only as far as Adam Smith, who heads it back forward, only as far as Dalsgaard again, who heads it back to where it came from, only as far as Lerma this time, who brings it down, lays it off to Wilshere, gets it out wide to Adam Smith, who's gone from right to left. Now Wilshere, Lloyd Kelly, the left back, lifts it over the top, but no one's there to give chase for Bournemouth, and out it will go for a goal kick for Brentford. We've hit the 90th minute. 5 minutes have added on time. Can Brentford nick a late equaliser, or will Bournemouth double their advantage? Something that they could do with doing, because 1-0 lead is a little bit of a slander one. Like I said before, can easily be cancelled out. Ball lifted forward towards Ivan Toney. Header one to the edge of the box. Mbuemo lays off to Nordgaard. Shot blocked on the edge of the box. Falls towards Emiliano. Gets there ahead of Solanke. Now Mbuemo. Out wide right to Ghoddos. Now back to Pinnock. They've got until this clock. We've got hits 50. Emiliano swings it in. Header won by Chris Mepham, who has had a great performance since replacing Steve Cook at the back. Wilshere out to Danjuma on the left. Gets beyond one and a second before getting taken down by Dalsgaard. But the referee sees nothing wrong with it. Or does he? I'm not sure. Danjuma was brought down by Dalsgaard, who went in heavy to win the ball. Dalsgaard, does he win it? No, he doesn't. Or does he dive Danjuma? Dalsgaard doesn't win the ball, but I don't think Danjuma gets caught there by Dalsgaard, personally. But it will be a free kick, I think, for Bournemouth. Dalsgaard. Oh, will it be a free kick? Or will it be a throw-in? It'll be a throw-in. It'll be a throw-in. Which I think is also a bit wrong, because I don't think Dalsgaard got a touch on the ball, to be honest. Anyway, Lloyd Kelly, throw-in. Long down the line. Looks like Janssen, who volleys it forward. Looks as far as Wilshere, nods it out wide left. Headed on by Lloyd Kelly. Looks as far as Janssen, up towards Wilshere. Pokes it forward to Billing. Gets the return, and then back heels it into Solanke. Can't take on multiple Brentford players, and they've won the ball back off him, and Emiliano can now drive forward for Brentford. They've entered the Bournemouth half. He's got Rico Henry to his left. The pass is poor. Good tackle by Jack Stacey. And the slide challenge falls right to Danjuma, who can run at Ethan Pinnock. He's going to get support from Jack Stacey if he can keep hold of it, but he tries to take on Pinnock. That's too much of himself. Pinnock wins it, clears it. Out for a throw, and it goes for Bournemouth, though. The current match winner, Danjuma, didn't really use the ball there in a successful way. As Jefferson Lerma, who's gone down, I think, with a little bit of cramp. He has worked his socks off in that midfield. The Colombian, the 26-year-old, did join in 2018 from Levante, scoring 3 Premier League goals at in his time in the Premier League with Bournemouth. Scoring against Newcastle, Palace and Chelsea. He'll be wanting more Premier League appearances to his name. He'll want to get promoted, like all the Bournemouth players will want to get promoted, because a lot of these players were in the Premier League last season. Not much changed, to be fair, between the teams of relegation and promotion. Solanke gets it from the throw-in, tries to get into the box, deflects off Pinnock, out for a corner, it goes for Bournemouth. We've played 3 of the 5 minutes added on. Jonathan Woodgate could be leading Bournemouth to a massive victory. Will it be enough to see them through the second leg? 1 goal probably won't be enough, but an advantage nonetheless for his team. Chris Mepham wanted to go forward, but he's been advised to go back. I think they'll go in towards the corner, Brentford here. Well, Bournemouth. Danjuma into Billing in the corner flag. Met strongly, but he gets beyond Sergi Canos and goes back in towards the corner flag. Tackled by Canos and Emiliano, and they get out from the corner flag, Emiliano, and he's been challenged and fouled by Billing. Emiliano, and he wins a free kick for his side, so Brentford can get it away from that corner flag and send it long. Like I said, Brentford haven't been great. Bournemouth had about 5 chances in the first half to score. They didn't. They had 1 chance in the early start parts of the second half where Brentford were dominating and they scored. And Brentford haven't really made much since. They've hit the side netting. And they've had a few shots over the bar, but other than that, it's not been great. It's Jack Wilshere in the midfield, dispossesses the Brentford midfielder. He plays it forward down the left to Danjuma. He cuts in onto his right foot from the left, plays it across. Lerma gets beyond Ivan Toney as he looks to try and win the ball back and just keeps it calmly. Billing back to Carter Vickers. Looking, I don't know where he's looking for, a really mishit ball, but right in towards the corner flag for a throw-in. So they could box in Brentford with 35 seconds to go. What a win this could be for Bournemouth's history. Brentford have attempted to get out the playoffs into the Premier League and into different leagues 9 times. They've never won. They've never got promoted through the playoffs ever in 9 attempts. This is their 10th attempt as Raya's clearance has been blocked. And Billing will go for a strike. And it's been easily saved by Raya as he's got away with that. 15 seconds left. What are they doing? Brentford, they need to get it up the pitch. Unfortunate from Billing. David Raya got away from it. Got away with it. Ball forward. Header won by Bournemouth. Helped on by Billing. Back towards Raya. We've played the 5 minutes. Played forward to Ethan Pinnock. How long left have we got? Not too much longer because the referee blows the whistle and it's a big, big first win in this playoff game between Bournemouth and Brentford for the Cherries. They win by 1-0 after dominating the first half and limited Brentford to very, very minimal chances. They didn't score themselves after having a good 5 or 6 chances of their own. We ticked forward into the second half and Brentford with a team on top for the first 10 minutes, but Janssen, who had ventured into a right-wing position, lost the ball, counter-attack from the right-hand side to the left-hand side to the right, back out to the left where Danjuma got away into the box on the left-hand side, opened up the body on the right foot and placed it into the bottom right corner. And then for the remainder of the game, it was back and forth. Again, no real big chances for either team, which, would have troubled either goalkeeper. And then Bournemouth could see the game out from there. Brentford have got it all to do, and their manager will want a lot better from them as well. Really not a good performance from Brentford. That is their unbeaten run of 12 over. Their unbeaten run was from the 12th of March to the 8th of May. Because come the 17th of May, they've lost the game. The game that probably means the most in the season. The first leg of the semi-finals of the playoffs. Big win for Bournemouth. They finished 6th in the Championship, scraping a playoff position. They've beaten 3rd place Brentford at home in front of fans. And on Saturday, they'll have to travel to Brentford and try and protect this 1-goal lead. Add to this 1-goal lead. And despite being the underdogs in this playoff semi-final, who knows, they could better Thomas Frank's Brentford and cause them to have more playoff heartbreak, as Brentford could have to withstand another season in the Championship. Who knows? It's all to play for in the second leg. It's only a 1-goal advantage for Bournemouth, but it's an advantage nonetheless, and Brentford will have to try and recover from this and perform a lot better. They were just froze to 1 or 2 chances by Bournemouth. Really not much for Brentford. Bournemouth with a much better team. Should they have won by more than 1? Probably. Did they? No. And they're going to have to live with just the 1-goal advantage they've got. But they'll take a lot of confidence into the second leg, though, because they have got a lead and they have won the game, and that's the most important thing. They may have only won it 1-0, but it's a win nonetheless, and confidence that they could take. And who knows, if they get an early goal in the second leg, it could be curtains for Brentford and another disappointing playoff campaign for Brentford, who are desperate to get into the Premier League. But at the minute, it's just not looking like it's their time again. Who knows? It could change, though, on Saturday. But they had one big chance, Brentford, in the 78th minute. It was in Mbeumo. It was Jensen who worked it forward to Nordgaard on the right-hand side, who spun and got a first-time cross right across goal, and he was free on his own. In Mbeumo, Carter Vickers got pulled across, and it left Brian Mbeumo on his own. And from around 6 yards out, he stretched with his left foot, Mbeumo, with an open goal, and he put it wide. That was the chance for Brentford, despite not playing well. And Mbeumo missed from 6 yards out, open goal. He was stretching. Even though he's stretching, he still should have scored. He didn't. He put it wide. That was the chance for Brentford. They missed it. They missed a lot of big chances to get on the ball, to get in front in this game and put a foot on this game. They didn't. They were poor. Yes, that chance was big and they should have scored within Bournemouth, but they didn't, and they're going to have to live with that, and it's all to play for in the second leg. But for me, that is the end of the commentary. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. It's been fantastic. I can't commentate on the second leg, unfortunately. I am busy, but I will hopefully, all being well, 12-day times, we should be back for the playoff final. It'll be between either Bournemouth or Brentford, Barnsley or Swansea. We're going to find out over the next 12 days or so. But until the 29th of May, in terms of Championship commentaries, that is it for me. We'll be back for the Championship playoff final. We could have the Europa League final commentary as well if the game is not on YouTube. If the game's on YouTube, then I won't commentate on the Europa League final. So the next commentary will either be on the 26th, Europa League final, or we'll have a 12-day break and we'll be back for the Championship playoff final. It'll be between either Bournemouth or Brentford, and they'll play either Barnsley or Swansea. Who will it be? We'll find out in 12 days' time. But make sure you're back here for the commentary for the playoff Championship final, where we'll see who will be taking a step back from the Championship into the top flight of English football, the Premier League.